Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis, and with me tonight, I have my co-host, as usual, Mr. Stu Woolley. Tonight, we will talk about the latest transfer news. We will talk about the Gyökeres deal is probably off, according to Plettenberg. We will talk about the Cunha signing. Here we go, came yesterday at the end of the show. Onana is going to Saudi, hopefully. We are linked to Mbeumo. A lot of things happening on the transfer market. We will go through the season. We will talk a little bit what happened. Your thoughts on Amorim. Lots of things to cover. But first of all, after the intro, we will mention our condolences to the incident that happened in Liverpool earlier tonight. So, guys, girls, stay tuned, and we will be back right after the intro. So, see you in a sec. Yes, good evening, all, and where's Stu? There is Stu. Big up, Stu. Big up to the Tactical Devils.
Yeah, big up to everyone. Big up to the devilish Tacticos.
Yes, and we started up with the Cass raid. Actually, a lot of people coming over from Cass's channel. Big up Cass, and Cass will be joining us soon. I just sent him the link, so stay tuned, guys and girls. He will be part of Jarvis's Corner Monday night, 9 p.m. So first of all, we just want to mention a little bit about what happened tonight. A tragic incident in Liverpool. Stu.
Yeah, it's absolutely shocking. It's mind blowing, really. You know, football rivalries aside, and we all love football for that jeopardy and that rivalry. You know, you should be able to go out and support your team, whatever the circumstances. And our fiercest rivals tonight are in absolute turmoil. The city of Liverpool is in turmoil. Mine and Jarvis's heart goes out to those people, not supporters, people.
Humans,
husbands, fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, just going there to celebrate a milestone in Liverpool's history, and we just have this random moron who decides it's the right thing to do to descend upon this joyous occasion for Liverpool supporters, and we don't know the results of what's happened yet, but injury is unacceptable. So myself and Jarvis, the Tactical Devils, Devilish Tacticos, LFC fans around the world, if any of you are watching, our thoughts and our prayers are with you tonight, and for the families of the people that have been hurt. Absolute disgrace. So
yes, it's terrible. We saw the pictures. I don't want to show them on air, but there's terrible pictures of a car driving into a crowd of people celebrating in Liverpool, and all we know is it's a 53-year-old male who is detained.
He's been arrested now.
There's nothing about victims, but someone has had to be hurt because it looked bad.
It looked very bad.
Our condolences and hearts go out to the people of Liverpool. And I just received a message from my good friend Nuruddin. He also had some family in that area. He spoke to them, so they are fine. But a lot of people are affected by this. So it's a tragic incident. Yeah,
it's terrible.
So guys, girls, let's move on to the show. As I said, I just sent a link to Cass. Hopefully Nuruddin will join us a little bit later. He's been doing a lot of streams tonight with Saeed and on his own channel and a lot of other things. So maybe he will join us a little bit later, hopefully. And I want to say hi to the Devilish Tacticos people in the chat. We have Jamie Wayne coming in early, say, Joe Jarvis, and Stu, my two brothers. Big up. Gavin Underwood is here. Good to see you. Nas coming in with prayers for the safety of fans who got hurt in the Liverpool's title parade. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It goes for all of us. Praise. Who else is here? We have Royden Frost coming in. And on the topic, he says, Gyökeres can't be off. What happened of the lap goes to Chelsea? And that's a good question. We will try to answer it as good as we can. So let's go to the main topic of the evening. This came out today. Florian Plettenberg coming in with understand that the move for Victor Gyökeres to Manchester United now is almost off the table. It's currently not the player's objective either. Instead, MUFC now signing Matheus Cunha. So that's the statement from Florian Plettenberg. Are you surprised, too, that Gyökeres is off the table?
No, not one bit. I don't even know how firm it was, whether it was on the table in the first place. Maybe Wednesday was a consideration for him. I think he's got on record saying he wanted Champions League football. We can't offer Champions League football. The insinuation that we decided to go for Cunha over Gyökeres is fanciful at best, because they're two different types of players. I think I would imagine Amorim wanted Gyökeres. I don't consider that to be false information. I would imagine the club has looked at him and would have wanted Gyökeres as well. So I don't consider that to be false information either. But I never really thought he was on the table. To be fair, I never thought he really wanted to come to Manchester United. I don't even think he'll end up at Arsenal. But his choices are very limited, I think, anyway, as a striker. He's not going to go to Chelsea, I wouldn't think. Potentially, I heard that Liverpool were looking at him. Today they're trying to type the Florian Wirtz deal. That would suggest that they're trying to move Nunes on, I would suggest, if they're looking at Gyökeres, because Gyökeres isn't going to go there if Nunes is there. I bet 63 million. They're paying 100 million for Wirtz. I don't know what they pay for Frimpong, but Liverpool are looking down the sharp barrel of 200 mil on three players already. Yet the season hasn't even really concluded. So it's really quite interesting to see. But I don't think it was ever on the table.
No.
I know he's well respected, Plettenberg.
Yeah, I think you touched on a lot of points, but I think it's easy to think that he played for Amorim. He was his man in Sporting. So why should Gyökeres follow him to Man United now? And Gyökeres, he knows the system, he knows Amorim, he knows how he wants to play, and we all know that Gyökeres plays like Amorim wants him to play. So it's a match made in heaven in a way. So, and it's not a young guy. Gyökeres is 26, maybe
26,
heading to 27 soon.
Yeah.
And he's at that part of his career where he actually needs to prove himself, and going to Man United should be the perfect chance.
I mean, there is the obviously the Amorim link. Whether or not he's got the bottle to come and play at Manchester United at this point in time, I think needs to be questioned. The number 9 at Old Trafford weighs the heaviest in any striking department in any Premier League club. It doesn't weigh as heavy at Liverpool for sure. It doesn't weigh as heavy at Chelsea, City. It weighs heavy at Manchester United. We need somebody to come in and take the burden off Højlund if he stays. But was Gyökeres really the man to do that anyway? We could speculate and say that he is because he knows the Amorim system. But are there more clinical strikers out there? And you mentioned the Porto striker.
Samu Omerodion, yes.
Yeah,
Great,
as being a different option. Are we going to be upset if Liam Delap goes to Chelsea? I doubt it. Should we be upset if Gyökeres goes to Liverpool? Probably, because that's going to be they're three very astute signings if he goes to. But I wonder whether or not he feels that it's too heavy. The number 9 shirt. I don't know. We don't really know Gyökeres, do we? As an individual, we don't hear him speak. We know that he didn't really cut it at Coventry, and that Amorim made him into this particular player. So, but I just, Plettenberg, fine. You want to get clicks and views, fine. Was he really ever on the table? Would always be my question, and I just don't think he is.
No, we will see. Time will tell. It's good to see Noradin is joining us. Big up, Nora. Hope you're well. Okay, he's on the phone.
He's on the phone,
Nas coming in and say if Gyökeres is smart and has access to high-speed internet, he will know to avoid our club unless someone has shown him footage from 99 on continuous
continuously.
Yes,
very good.
And Danny B's in the house, big up. And Junior Davis coming in and say, we don't need Delap. He would be another Højlund learning on the job. And I think that's the main part with Gyökeres. He's 26. He has experience, but not Premier League proven. That's the only catch, I would say. Noradin, how are you doing? What's your thoughts on the Gyökeres deal? Did you see the comment coming out today with... this one, let me try to see if I can get it up. No, what am I doing? Here we go.
There you go.
Florian Plettenberg, understand that the move for Victor Gyökeres is almost off the table.
Yes, 100%, and I would understand why. So, if you want to read a situation, there's a way to read a situation. We're Manchester United fans, so we think Manchester United fan name means something. But let's be right, people. If you are Gyökeres, right, you're not a Manchester United fan, you've got the pick of 3-4 clubs. Would you become to Manchester United? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't come to Manchester United. You've just had the coach after the final who said he wanted to quit. We hear stories he wanted to quit in January. So why the hell are you going to come to a place where the standards have been lowered to that so much in the last 13 years, that finishing 15th with 42 points in 39 games is everything. Like, what are we doing here? He's 26 years old. He's been flying for Sporting Lisbon. He's had a taste of the Champions League. He wants to go to a club that is going to go and challenge for big trophies. So why would he come to Manchester United? He's not a Manchester United, unless he's the Manchester United fan. But even if he's a Manchester United fan, I think people around him would have to advise him properly. At the end of the day, I don't see this rebuild. I don't see Manchester. Now we're hearing the news. I don't know if you're going to come to it, Jarvis, but Manchester United have got 100 million to spend.
Yes.
Yes. 100 million even won't be enough for Sunderland, the team that's come up to try to stay in the Premier League. So that's laughable. At the end of the day, people, I don't care what anybody says, but here we are, the owners who took Manchester United to 15. Everybody wants to play dumb, daft, or blind. See no evil, hear no evil. And then we want to talk about, this is what we have to accept now. I went to the protest yesterday, lively. We shut the superstore down, the mega store down. But people need to get serious because people need to empty that stadium. The last time Manchester United finished that low in the Premier League was 1973, 1974. And we went down. So at the end of the day, we're talking about these players coming or whatever, this player, that player. If I was a player, forget about players joining us. Players, I would jump ship. I'm telling you now, I would jump ship. I think the inevitable is going to happen with Amorim, unless they buy 8 or to 7 first-team starters who can fit into his system. I think by December, January, I think this is going to be a wrap. So he told us, I was in the game, he told us on yesterday He said, the good times. The good times.
He did.
And then 5 minutes later, in the BBC interview after the game, he told them it's going to be difficult. We're going to try. So come on, people. Wake up, smell the coffee. Smell the coffee. In terms of we can discuss Gyökeres as the player, what type of player he is, his attributes, how we fit into the system. Me and Jarvis, and I think Stu and everybody has watched loads of videos into how he suits the system, because the way he plays, he's somebody who runs into the channels. He understands the points to be in the box. He's physically very strong. I think his physicality would do well in the Premier League, because one thing he's too strong for everybody in that league. He's too strong for everybody in that league. He is a physical specimen. Players bounce off him and just eat grass. So in terms of his physicality, is he the type of profile that we want at Manchester United? Yeah, we could do with a striker like him. But this idea that, I know what you said before, Stu, that we rely on one. When have we ever just relied on one person?
Oh, no, we've always had four strikers. Always had four.
We should never rely on one striker, because players in football lose form and players are fine form. And that's what happens. So I wouldn't be, if this was a serious rebuild, and Manchester United are trying to get back to where they belong, not even to get back, just to get back to being fourth place, right? We went from being 13 years, 12 or 10 years chasing fourth place, right? Now to 15, right? So at the end of the day, this is all we've been coming. But in terms of the player that he is, the player profile, he's physically strong, but that doesn't still guarantee anything, because you have to have a system that gets the best out of those players. The best things about systems in modern coaching is that you hide the deficiencies of players and you exude the positives or the qualities of the players you have. That's what the system is supposed to do. So Gyökeres physically there. Does he know what this coach wants? Yes, he does know what this coach wants. This coach wants a specific type of channel running. But the only question to that is, what about if people should? Because one thing I would say about the Portuguese league, it's quite open league. It's similar to Spain. Teams go and attack. It's not where teams park the bus, really. They don't park the bus.
It's not the Italian league.
Yeah, it's not the so teams don't park the bus. So what happens when you cut the space for him to run into? What would happen then? You know, what is he like in a low block? Any of our Portuguese compatriots in the comments or anybody knows about that can let us know. But you're talking about Sporting Lisbon, which is a total football club to Manchester United. They're members owned, they have a president, and they can take drastic measures to change the playing. Because everybody's been waffling about, but Amorim changed the 17 players in Sporting Lisbon. They're a different country, different league with different set of standards. So let's not get into that. But as him as a player, his profile fits. I'm just going to let the cat in.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. Let the cat. Who let the
dogs out? That was yeah.
A lot of the legends I've tuned in. Madhouse is here. Mr. Flashy Far is here. Comes in with the question: why Gyökeres want to join us? And you know, that's the question we're all asking. Why would he like to join us? And the only reason I can think of is Amorim, and you know, money. And I don't know, is Man United a project you want to just jump on when you're at your height of a footballing career?
Probably not.
Yeah.
See, Gyökeres has probably got one move left in him, hasn't he? If you're 26, 27, you've got one major move left in you as a footballer, because you can sign a 5-year contract wherever you go. That takes him to 32 or 31, depending on what his age is. Unless you're a Harry Kane, who could, maybe make an 80 million move out to Bayern, you're going to have to re-sign the extension and stay with that club for 7 to 8 years, or you join a club that's already got Champions League football. So Gyökeres' his viewpoint will be, forget about anything else. I want Champions League football. Can I wait 2 years? Because in 2 years' time, I'll be 29 or 28. And then, I'm 2 years into a contract. if I'm scoring goals, United will want to extend that as well. So it's going to take me through till I'm 32, 33, potentially, depending on what they do. Where's my sell-on clause going to be? Can I get the move to Real Madrid, Barcelona, or whoever? Can I do that from Manchester United, or do I sign at Manchester United and that's it for my career? So there's a lot to think about. It isn't just the Amorim effect; it's the knock-on effect, and the knock-on effect for him is 5-year contract takes him to 31, 32. We know if he's scoring goals, you're going to extend him on 3 years, 29, 30. You're going to extend him. So he's got another potential 4 years after that with the club. What's his fee likely to be? What if he drops off? What if he gets injured? He'll never get his Real Madrid dream move.
Yeah.
So you could go to someone like Arsenal. Plus, I maintain this, by the way, and I genuinely maintain this. The Manchester United number 9 shirt is different to any other club. Maybe Real Madrid, but certainly in the UK, nothing compares, has the weight of the Manchester United number 9 shirt. So,
Stu, would you say that about the goalkeeper as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. We saw that after Schmeichel. How many years did it take for us to get Van der Sar? We couldn't get Van der Sar at Fulham earlier, could we? Which we should have done, but we couldn't get him. We got him late in his career. We had Van der Sar in his early 30s, didn't we? 32, something like that he came. So, yeah, the goalkeeper and the number 9 are the two hardest positions to fill at Old Trafford. You've got to have balls of steel for both of those. And we both know that. But when you look at the halls at Manchester United and you see Van Nistelrooy, Solskjaer, Cole, Sheringham's been there. And we're used to playing with a quartet of 4 top strikers, top strikers. Just imagine what Sheringham was doing at Tottenham at that particular time. Berbatov came and was brilliant for Spurs, but didn't really set the world apart. Louis Saha would have been better if he would been more kind of injury free. So there has been big name players. I don't know about Gyökeres. I don't know his temperament. I don't know his personality. I agree with Nuruddin. He's an absolute animal. Players are back in the Portuguese league.
He looks good, Stu, but I see this coming often, this question from Junior Davis. What about Mateta? We're not going to go ahead of ourselves because there's some news about the lap, but Mateta, is he an option? As you see it, Nuruddin, would you take Mateta?
In terms of, you know what? The days that Manchester United could be, because remember, we used to, as fans, because we would keep the standard. So when we look at players, we would go, yeah, we need guys who are going to take us to a challenge, who are going to score so many goals, for us to a challenge for a league title, that are going to get us competing in the Champions League, going to score goals in the Champions League. But a club that's finished 15th, a football team that's finished 15th, you can't no longer turn your nose at players like Mateta. Those days are gone. The owners and the club have put the standards to that bottom. So the idea that we will look down on Mateta is laughable. We wouldn't. For me, we need 2 strikers. So yeah, Mateta can be one of them, 100%. I would go and get Mateta and go and get somebody who's young and talented. I really like Delap. I think he can be, but he cannot be the first choice Manchester United striker. He's got to be somebody who's allowed to develop, and you know what I mean. Because a lot for his game to be worked on. So if you got me Delap and Mateta, I would take that. Or Gyökeres and Delap. But if you looked at the type of season that Mateta's had, would he want to come to Manchester United? At the end of the day, people, we're just a name now. It's been 13 years.
We are just a name.
We're just a name. Yeah. Let's be realistic, people. Let's be honest. Mateta, to me, in the Premier League, he's bullied people. He holds the ball. You goof the ball up to him. He bullies people. And we already know Amorim likes that ball out anyway. Onana's going to stay, so Onana will start hoofing the ball. At least get somebody who can hold up the ball and get us up the pitch.
Which he can. The interesting thing about Gyökeres, by the way, and here's the main thing. If United want him, pay the release clause, and they have to accept it.
Yeah.
So put the ball.
What is his release clause?
60.
What's his release clause?
What is it, Joe? It's 60. Is it 65, something like that?
Mateta.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm on about Gyökeres. It's got a release clause, isn't it?
Yeah. There's probably a huge sign-on fee on top of it, and the release clause. So he will cost us. Danny B comes in and say 55. Okay.
If you want him, pay it.
Interesting.
Pay it.
Jamie Wayne said that's in the 62 million. Okay.
Either way,
I don't
pay
know.
it.
Is that 60 million euros? That might be 60 million euros.
Might be 62 euros, yeah, million euros, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, but this came out also today from Alex Crook. Justin, Chelsea has now overtaken Man United in the race for Liam Delap as they can offer him Champions League football. And also this came out now from Chris Wheeler. He said Liam Delap is set to make a decision on his future in the coming days after talks with 4 Premier League clubs, including Man United and Chelsea. So he's a wanted man. A lot of clubs are looking at Delap. So for me, I think Delap looks more and more unlikely. It's how I see it.
A lot of it's bullshit anyway. I mean, I'll only go to a Champions League. Do me a fucking favour. I mean, that's just so bad in terms of journalism, Jarvis. It's lazy journalism that you've just come up from the Championship. You've been relegated, but I'll only go for Champions League football. Fuck off. It's bullshit. It winds me up like this. Just lazy journalism. Yes, agreed. And we know he's had 4 clubs after him because it's been well documented by everybody. Sky's documented it. But in terms of, Chelsea are my favourite team because I've got Champions League, it's bollocks, absolute bollocks. You can't command that when you've just come up and been relegated. You just can't command that, Although, to be fair, he's only making a slight jump, isn't he? From where did they finish, 18th to 15th, or he's only making a slight jump coming with us. But is he going to play ahead of Nicholas Jackson at Chelsea? I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Are Arsenal in for him? Who knows? West Ham would be a good fit for Liam Delap. We all know that. Tottenham would be a good fit for Liam Delap. We all know that. So, Champions League football, lazy journalism for me. That.
Yeah, and then Dave 147 come in and say, I don't believe the Chelsea rumours. Wilcox has a strong relationship with him.
Dave, yeah, you just can't turn around and say when you've been relegated, I'm only leaving for Champions League. Well, stay in the Championship then, pal. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
We will see. But my question to you guys is, and especially Noradin, you rated Delap earlier this season. You said he was like a strong up and coming guy, and you would take him. Do you still believe
I rate him? Yeah, I rate him. I do rate him. I don't. You know me. I don't sit on the fence.
Any worries?
No.
Any worries?
No sitting on the fence. My only worry is that he can't be the main striker for Manchester United. He's still young. He needs to develop. So we need to go and get somebody of 26, mid-20s, 27, who's been around the block, who understands how to play that role, and who's got attributes. That's what the scouts are for. That's what this football structure's for, to do his fucking job and go and scout somebody that can fit into that system. That's what we need. We need.
But the thing is, we humans, we are a little bit strange. Some of us excel under pressure when we are on our own. For example, Martial. Remember him. He did good every time, but as soon as we signed a competition, a striker, he pulled back and he didn't play well. And as soon as we saw the striker again, Martial excelled. So,
Jarvis.
And now you see with Højlund, when he was the main man, suddenly the pressure, he crumbled under pressure, and he has no confidence left. So it could go either way with a young guy like Delap as our main striker, but it's a big gamble.
But Jarvis, but all due respect, you're talking about Martial in a chaotic football club that was not stable. You're talking about no developmental coaching. You're talking about no getting into his head and going, actually, well, if you want to be the guy, go and prove it. Do the extras in training. There was no developmental plan. The thing about tragedy of Rashford and Martial when they both come into the football team is that nobody developed them. Nobody. And that's the other thing. So for me, do I think Delap needs further development? 100 million%. But do I think he's got the raw materials to be a top striker? Yes, he's got the raw materials. He's got the strength. He's got the ball playing. He makes decisions. He's similar to Gyökeres because he likes open spaces. Is he good in the box? He actually wins a lot header. I've done a player profile on him. I've done the research. He actually wins a lot of headers in the box when he's attacking, but he doesn't score them. So things Stuart will tell you, if you win already, if you get up already, all it needs to be coached is the direction in the different types of power, the different type of headers. That's all he needs to be coached. So he needs to be coached in specific things, how to be a more fox in the box, how to anticipate things. But in terms of running into spaces, I like his shooting. His shoots are similar to Harry Kane. Not hardly any back lift, boom. And he hit, a lot of his finishes are side netting, some of them in the corners. He can shoot both left or right. But the thing for me is that he cannot become the main striker because, like Stuart said, all the pressure will be on him. He has to play under somebody else. He has to.
Look, his attributes are decent. We all know 13 goals in a relegation season is pretty good going. We'd have to redevelop our way of playing, Jarvis, to accommodate him. We'd have to develop his way of playing, as Nuruddin said. Speed in the box, awareness in the box, ability in the box. But there's going to be times where he'll get frustrated like Højlund because we're not popping the ball in the box. So, we're going to have to completely change the way that we play. Maybe the acquisition of Cunha is for that. Maybe the Mbeumo potential acquisition again is for that. But I don't see it again. I don't see Delap at Manchester United either.
No.
But I think if he is looking at Champions League football, he needs to take a look at himself first and foremost. You've got to succeed in football first, mate. You have to succeed in football, and that would worry me because he's the type of player, a young lad who sign at Manchester United, 2 weeks later do a Memphis Depay and roll up in a Rolls Royce, and you can't do that. You've got to earn your stripes at football clubs, and he has to earn his stripes for me. So he's all right, Liam Delap, no two ways about it. But you'd have to marry somebody up with, I think, with a Harry Kane type player who's been there, seen it, done it in the Premier League to demonstrate what you need to be doing. You see, the problem with
Harry Kane has become the link-up striker in a way. On his older days, not more like a target man. It's like the link-up, likes to drop down, be involved in the build-up, and then shoot.
But the interesting thing about him is he's developed that side of his game. If you looked at Harry Kane when he was 18, 19, 20, to Harry Kane at 29, 30, 31, 32, he's developed a more rounded game. If you could get somebody like him to help somebody like Delap or Højlund to develop a more rounded game at a younger age, then you become a really dangerous player. Look, it took Gyökeres a long time to find himself, if you remember.
Yes.
It took him a long time to find himself. He found it at Sporting. Now, Sorloth, people were laughing at Sorloth at Crystal Palace a few years ago. But he's averaging a goal every other game, isn't he, or something at the minute? Sorloth,
and he's not a regular.
He's not regular, is he?
No. It's the guy. I think it's the guy they signed from City. Alvaro. No, the young.
It's Alvarez. Yeah, Alvarez.
He's a main striker. And
Sorloth comes on and doesn't he scores like something like every other game, doesn't he? Or something stupid like that. Alexander Sorloth, yeah. It's a great shout.
Great shout, yeah.
Great shout, that is. But we won't look at him. The club won't look at somebody like Jared Bowen. I know we keep talking about Jared Bowen all the time, but he would offer us something completely different. I think he'd thrive in an Amorim system, if I'm being honest. I really do. I think he'd score a shitload of goals, shit ton of goals.
I'm still here, guys. I'm listening. I'm just stuffing my face with a bit of food. Carry on.
Yeah, you carry on. I think he'd score a shitload of goals, but he assists, doesn't he? That's the beauty of Mbeumo. He scores and assists.
Yes,
Cunha
you mentioned Mbeumo, so let's talk about Mbeumo. You've seen a lot of links. Links today with Mbeumo. So let's just go into it. Manchester United have held talks with Bryan Mbeumo. Brentford value around 50 million. From Alex Crook again, and there's more. We have this one. Manchester United could use Alejandro Garnacho's sale to finance the summer move for Bryan Mbeumo from Rich Fay, and this one last. It's Rúben Amorim would like to add 2 attacking midfielders to his Manchester United side in the coming months, with Bryan Mbeumo used as another ideal addition to the squad alongside Matheus Cunha. It's from Rich Fay. So a lot of strong links today to Bryan Mbeumo. So big up, Cass. Big up.
Big
Good
up,
to
Cass.
see you.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining us. Since you're chewing,
I think he's having a sandwich.
That's okay. Enjoy your food.
Yeah.
So, Stu, do you rate Mbeumo? Do you think he's good enough? Because, playing for a counter-attacking Brentford side is not the same as playing from a high-pressing, high-line Man United against a low block. Do you think he is the key to break down the opposition?
The thing about Mbeumo for me is work rate. He's got a work rate about him. He'll defend and he'll attack. And I think he can play multiple positions. He can play, at 8 for me, a roaming 10, out wide. And I think you could push him through the middle as well as a 9. So I think he can play a number of different types of positions. Cunha's the same. He adds a lot of firepower in terms of aggression, in terms of shithousery, in terms of pace, power, can assist, can score goals. So those two may be similar from the outside, but would offer different attributes in the starting 11 for me. But you've got to have somebody up top to finish their good work. Because as good as Mbeumo is, don't forget he had Wissa alongside him. And if Mbeumo missed...
Tony before that.
Yeah, and I've been Tony before that. And if Mbeumo misses, Wissa, doesn't, does he? It's one of those. So it's quite an interesting set of attributes for me, that one. Yolam Amin, by the way, has come in and says, Mbeumo has been hijacked by Newcastle. I'm not surprised. There are going to be teams, in the likes of Mbeumo, they want about 50 mil, don't they? I think.
Yeah, and in a way, it makes sense. He's more like a Newcastle player with that high intensity, aggression. So I see him playing in a house system with the high press intensity.
Oh yeah, it'd easily getting that. You dispense with what's his name? I was going to say Josh King, but it's not Josh King, isn't it?
The winger Anthony Gordon.
No, not Anthony Gordon. He's always injured forward. Name will come to me.
Callum
Wilson.
Yeah,
just ship Callum Wilson out, get him off your squad. You bring in Mbeumo in, but Mbeumo's likely to start, isn't he? Absolutely. So, yeah, I think it's really quite interesting now. What's going to happen? Villa will be looking for players to sustain their challenge next year. Yeah, really interesting. I think
Villa have to sell.
Yeah, well, they've got PSR issues, haven't they? I read they've got PSR issues. Chelsea don't seem to have PSR issues, which is quite interesting.
Yeah. Rosmano comes in and say just via Fab, Mbeumo is dependent on sales. Club really like him plus Amorim, so he's highly rated apparently for the Man United coaching staff. And I don't know how he will fit into our team, because I see more of a counter-attacking player, but maybe this is where we are heading at for next season, just in the first step.
I disagree, to be fair. I think he'd be really good in big games. But if you look at the way Brentford is set up this year compared to last year, he's got they play more possession football and take it to the other teams more time. So for me, I don't think he'd have an issue, because he's actually got quite a good pick out at the back post, aka Kevin Shard, step up to the play. Yeah. And as long as we can have our wing back, whoever's in the left-hand side, if he is to come, make them darting runs into the box, I'm pretty sure they'll get a lot of goals. But does that happen? Is there enough courage under this manager from the player to do stuff like that? Are we going to play higher up? There's so many different questions, isn't there? So
yeah.
And Mbeumo's I need him. I want Turkey, don't get me wrong, but I've always said this, right? I think the club's too afraid to shop in other leagues at the moment if there's something at home, because we owe the Premier League so many goals. We scored 44 goals this season. It's nothing short of diabolical and a disgrace. We need the Cunha's one part of the puzzle, don't get me wrong. But if you're looking at the lap, if that all go tits up, I think we should focus on Mbeumo instead anyways. Mateta's going to be there for a minute, I reckon. And I think he should be, he's my first choice anyways. I don't really want the lap, but I said I'll take him because we employ Højlund. I'm starving.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be calling... I've been calling for homegrown shopping. I call it a local shopping, Kaz. I've been calling it for about the last 12 months. I've been talking to Jarvis and Nuruddin about it. I've always advocated go local. We've got a big issue. We got a big issue if we get Mbeumo. Yeah.
Our whole right-hand side goes to AFCON.
Yes, it does.
All of it. Mazraoui,
it's Cameroonian,
and Mbeumo all go to AFCON. And this is
but then how many games is AFCON really? How many games is it?
Well, you got to think of the teams.
Players can get knocked out.
4 weeks.
How many games is it?
Cameroon do quite well typically. Ivory Coast won it last time. They do quite well, pretty much.
Ahmad didn't go. Ahmad didn't go.
He's going this time.
He didn't go. Jarvis, if you want to share, I've got the stat thing of the FP of Mbeumo.
We saw this last night, didn't we?
Yeah.
If you press compare with forwards, I think that will be more realistic, because now you are comparing with if you go a little bit up, Norridin, you see, there you go. And
you might as well just do a breakdown of all his stats anyway. It's kind of easy to
So basically his goals are there, innit? He's in there.
There is complete scouting report. It gives a better breakdown.
Yeah.
He's at the top.
The big thing is progressive passes. And the thing is, he's a fighter. Clearances, aerials won. Actually, for a short guy, he wins a lot of aerials. And he's if you're holding a league, he fights. But yeah, his pass completion is a bit. But to be fair, it depends on the way Brentford used him, innit? They use him as the wide guy out ball. So he's the guy they get the ball to when they go out wide, to be fair. So
to be fair, he's played more inside than Vincent. He hasn't been a touchline winger this season. He's always been on the inside. He's always
but this data, this data is looking at all the time that he's been there. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's looking at. So I mean, the data is not just looking at this season; it's looking at
no, it's the last 365 days. So basically, it's the last year.
12 months, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what it's looking at. But yeah, progressive recoveries is there. And sometimes the stats can lie to you, but we've seen on the eye test what type of player he is. We've seen on the eye test what type of player he is. For me, he is somebody that I think could play. I think he's somebody who could play. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he's got the legs to be able to play the wing back. I'm not gonna shame in that, because he played as a wide guy. You have to get back and defend. And I remember how Brentford played when they first got him and how they were playing with him. But in terms of goal scorer, obviously you want him closer to the goal. But I was at the game against Villa. Ahmad as a number 10 wasn't doing anything. Ahmad goes to wing back. He overloads on the back post and he scores a goal. I think the wing backs have to be goal scoring in the Premier League, because that's where the space is in this Manchester United team. I really think that. So I think sometimes he might have to play there. But as a number 10, has he got the guile to play as a number 10? Has he got the touch? Can he play in really close quarters? Or is he a guy who's going to, like I said, he's going to put his head up for that back post? You know, he's got a lovely ball in it. He floats those crosses. Lovely. Yeah, you know what I mean? He clips them into the back post. And have we got players who can score those type of goals? I like him. But I'm just reading something right now. Literally, I was just looking at it on a thing, and it was basically saying that he also wants Champions League football.
Yeah, but I feel like I think all players want Champions League football. That's not difficult. That's not difficult.
Yeah.
But then when I look at him, I think, coming to Manchester United, what I think, Let's just get this. Let me just read what this is saying. The internet is acting a bit funny tonight. Although Manchester United are very serious about Bryan Mbeumo, he would personally prefer club in the Champions League. This is the Muppeteers. That's the Ineos guy. So yeah, Ineos.
By the way, nah, he's a John Murtough guy. I don't believe it. I'm gonna be honest. I think he's a sound guy, but I think he's, from what I always read upon him. I remember he done the breakdown of last summer, how completely fucking wrong it went. Yeah, and this is just my opinion. With all respect to him, he's built his platform, but I don't think he's got no more sources anymore. Personally, I think he went along when John Murtough left. That little part the last year, that's how he got his real credibility. I don't look at him and say that's a source anymore. I don't see much coming true from anything that he has said. That's just my take. You might think a bit different, but I think he's riding his luck along with it.
To me, guys, he was somebody who was always briefed by the club. I knew that for 100%. He was always towing the club line. Yeah,
but that's before Ineos. I don't believe it. I think they shut up shop with a lot of stuff like that for now, and probably got their, the new staff will always have their new in people, aka MEFC Academy scoop. What a source, right? All of a sudden, and he only types Sully Talks has come out of nowhere. There's new briefers. He's the new Muppeteers guy for me.
Yeah. Well, and but by the way, I heard that the rumors was Woodward, but when he left, the Muppeteers had nothing. So,
what I'd like to see from new players, guys, is for them to come in, not worry about Champions League football, and actually have the balls to try and get Manchester United back to some sort of credibility. And I'm talking top four. I want a group of players that come together with this fucking undescribable desire and will to win. And I think Mbeumo offers that. I think he offers that fucking attitude, that desire, that will to win. Cunha offers that shit out. I'd love to get Emi Martinez in between the sticks because he's a wanker, he's a tosser, he's a bastard. We need horrible, nasty players, guys. That's what we need.
I don't want to help Aston Villa out at all, though. I don't want to give them money. I'm sorry, but that's how low we're going now. We're going to the Aston Villas of the world. It's like, I want that Vanya guy. I think he's good money. Joan Garcia, he looks decent, but I just want.
Vanya's decent.
Do you know what I want, Vanya? I think Joan Garcia is good at penalties, but all good keepers in the world have always had some sort of decent attribute of winning trophy. And which one was that? It's probably penalty saving. Because when it comes down to some crunch times, you need your Donnarummas. That's probably a big reason why they might be in at Milan, is because of him alone on those penalties.
Agree.
And Vanya, obviously he's been there before, and I think that's too overused. Who cares if he's been there before? What you've seen at United has been crap anyways. So it's not like the club. What you know is crap, and it's still crap. But I want a giant, man. I just want someone who's great at shot stopping, gets down low, and also is, it's a type of parries that impressed me, which doesn't get recognized. Where do you parry the ball to? How strong do you parry the ball away? Because Onana loves parrying it in front. He loves parrying it where it's so soft, where the other player can just come and run onto it and just score. But we need goals. See, and Mbeumo in front, like this is what I'm saying. No matter what strike, if we do get that, I've got this odd feeling that we do miss out on him, but at the same time, I can just see it going, oh, here we go, he's chosen Man United. Because if he really wanted Champions League football, don't you guys think that he would have already chosen Chelsea by now? Like, it would have been done. His season's been over for a while, right? We need people in front of goal that can shoot and actually score. I'm tired of seeing Garnacho run into the box and missing sitters. Mason Mount, like yesterday, missing in sitters. He's crap. Anyways, I'm bored of it. I like Ahmad a little bit more on the wide way. He can take on his man. He's just way more agile. I think he does his most dangerous work there. I do think he can obviously fill into the right attacking mid role. But I just think he's just more comfortable out wide. I just want Mbeumo in front of goal. The one that's just going to, when he takes a shot, 8 times out of 10 is one, it's on target, and then the other part, it goes in. And that's what I want. I don't want him out wide, keep fishing in crosses. I need danger, man. Cunha, don't get wrong, he's got that Majinki profile. We need another one of those. And someone with a touch creative part to it. But it makes me wonder, what kind of striker do you need then? Because them two sound like them two need a really good link up, man. More than someone that's going to be an out-and-out Gyökeres. That makes no sense. By the way, I think us losing out on Champions League is probably the best thing that's happened to this club in a long while.
You mean Europa League? Yeah, 100%.
Both of them.
100%. Listen, I just say, we play better against 10 men. So if we're playing all 11 players, especially at Old Trafford, we only turn up when it's 10 men. 27 minutes in that game, we looked all right, but we had a couple of shots, but nothing to sustain it properly. The biggest thing for me is that I don't buy this thing. And I'm not thinking you're saying that. I'm just saying a lot of fans think we need people who can score. You have to create. You know that for most strikers, the average in the Premier League is at least 4 chances for them to take one. You need a football team with a midfield, with wing backs, with centre backs that are going to squeeze the life out of teams and are going to sustain attacks of the pitch. Yeah. That's when you team score goals. You can't just think one attack and we need 1 goal. No. You need to be able to sustain the attacks. And I'm sorry to say, genuinely, I don't believe that other than during the lockdown season, and obviously it was because obviously, you know, Cowardly FC turned up when there's no fans in the stadium. Other than that time when we scored 60-something goals, I think it was, under Ollie, we've not sustained attacks any time under any manager. So for me, I don't see it. We need a proper system that functions and works well. My thing to you guys is that I personally believe the Amorim thing is gonna come to an end. I genuinely think it's gonna come to an end in December. Would you go and get somebody like Areola, who, when there's no Champions League football or Europa League football, can coach a team to be hard to beat, number one, then can also coach with a 4-3-3 kind of system that actually can get the best out of players and then can set traps and knows the Premier League? Or do you want to persist? You know, I know, you know, Kaz, Stu knows, Jarvis knows, all of you know, every United fan, this is in a proper rebuild. So are we rebuilding for us to be 8th or 10th or 12th? Or are we trying to get back with a better football? To me, that's what matters to me the most. When I go to the stadium, I don't want to watch shit football. I watch shit football all season. The thing about it, we lost so many games at Old Trafford, but it was shit football. Never did I once get excited about anything. So for me, that is more about the question is that on Amorim, I know that we're not doing an Amorim, we're doing specifically the types of players we want to sign. But wouldn't you like to, if they're going to sign players, sign a coach that's proven in the Premier League, especially now that we're going to get
not Areola, not for me. I think he's flavor of the year, like Graham Potter. I like Thomas Frank. I think Thomas Frank's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, Thomas Frank is, to me, it's about what you prefer in it. When I look at Bournemouth play, I see a proper football, like the team structured. I see the team, the way it functions, the way it sets traps, the way that it attacks when it wins the ball back, the transitions it uses, and then the way it defends when they have to defend. So for me, that is what I prefer. I think Thomas Frank is more versatile. I think Thomas Frank is more variation. 1 minute his team are playing possession football. 1 minute he's overloading the midfield. 1 minute he's getting the ball out wide every opportunity and getting it in the box. And everybody and their nan are headed into the box. So he varies it. He can vary the tactics. And maybe that's what Manchester United need. They need a very kind of guy. But Areola, for me, has taken Bournemouth. And that football club is a little club with 15,000 stadium. I've been there. They finished the highest they've ever finished in the Premier League. The highest they have ever finished in Premier League era. So for me, it's either him or just go and get me De Zerbi back and let me play out and overload and play football and finish 8th. I'll take that because I know with these owners, we're never going to challenge for a Premier League title. We're never going to. That dream died a long time ago. That is over. I don't see that ever happening. I'm sorry to be a downer, but that's how I feel. That's my opinion.
And how you feel doesn't represent how I feel as well. But majority is pretty much the truth anyways. But I don't think Rúben Amorim is going to be gone by December. I think we are going in our rebuild phase. It just depends how many they want to cut out the team. That's when I say, okay, now you're doing a proper rebuild. This summer's key for me. For me, just for me. This summer's key. You need to we already know 3's going, so who cares? You need to axe minimum 6 players for me. To be like, you know what? Get 6 players out and then get it in. Whoever else you may need. Minimum, by the way. And then I'll say, you know what? You're trying to take this serious? Cool. But get your targets. If you can't get your targets, we're fucked. So then that means you can't do a rebuild because you can't even get your targets.
Can I ask you a question? Can you tell me, please, what number rebuild we're on in the last 13 years?
Well, I'm gonna subject that to, I know you don't like Ineos, but right now we're in a zone where I haven't judged them perfectly yet. I mean, they've done a lot of bad things, but they've just got in the door. I know Glazers are still here, but that I'm gonna put that down to the Glazers. I'm gonna give them their fair chance. You had that one. Okay, half your people were in, half people were out. I quite like the signings, to be fair. I'm going to give them this summer, see what they can cop. And I'll be like, you know what, cool. Because I know what this fan base is like. I see you celebrating sometimes on our wins, whether it's with Saeed or whoever, right? We go get a few players, and you're actually back in a situation. And every Tom, Dick, and Harry is celebrating. And all of a sudden, it all goes quiet. And then you start winning games like under 10 Hog, and no one says shit. The only one that said shit was you, to be fair. I remember. We was there together. But that's just the way I look at it. It's
I just say that.
I want to give them a chance.
So, listen, but that's you, and you've got every right to do that. For me, they've proven that already, that they cost the club more money. They're actually more incompetent than the fucking Glazers. And the reality is there with what came out, the article that came out from Athletic the other day, where they actually broke down how my guy is telling some of the people, the masseurs, about how he stretches before he runs in a marathon. It's laughable. It's absolutely comedy. But I think, listen, I respect your opinion to have your opinion. I think these people are clowns. Manchester United are not getting, they've already proven to me that how horrendously incompetent they are. They've already proven that to me. Some people, maybe they're not proven, but if you look at the hierarchy of Manchester United, Joe Glazer is there. Without Joe Glazer's say so, he's the representative of the Glazers. Jim the Rat and all these this cyclist guy and the Formula One's coming will not be doing jack. So for me, that's how I look at it. The other thing to say to you, I'm a United fan. Of course, if United win games or score goals, I celebrate because I'm a United fan still. But for me, I know that, and I said it 5-6 years ago. I said Newcastle will challenge for a league more before Manchester United, and they were even on the Mike Ashley. I said that because I said they'll get rid of Mike Ashley because Mike Ashley will sell and somebody will buy Newcastle with only one City fan base. They'll get somebody and they'll challenge for a league title before Manchester United do. You had Gary Neville the other night. You had Gary Neville the other night telling the fans to accept that it's going to take 15 to another 15 years, maybe 10 to 15 years for us to get back to where we were to challenge for a title. At the end of the day, Ineos for me are doing what they're doing. They're asset stripping the football club. Liverpool, by the way, solidarity and love. My cousins and all some of my friends who I went to uni with, they were all safe. I've texted them. I got hold of some of them. But solidarity and love. Obviously, a madman drove a car through Liverpool parade, and there's a lot of injuries. And I just hope that, I really, really hope that nobody's lost their life. And solidarity and love, rivalry aside, at the end of the day, they're football fans. They went to enjoy their team, paraded their trophy, and then this madman does what he does. So yeah. So with that, I'll say it's simple for me. Ineos have proven how incompetent they are. They're so shockingly incompetent. They spent 12 million to get Amorim, 3 million to get his staff. They paid 50 million to Ten Hag after improving him and getting in players. So for me, they've shown that already. And all I have to do is look at Nice. 1 minute, they sacked the coach, then they made him a sporting director. That is incompetence at the highest fucking level. So for me, they've already proven that. And if you go and research Ineos in sport, they haven't got one win, not one trophy to show for all of that, all the different sports that they're in. He's got season tickets at Chelsea. He sponsors Spurs. What the fuck does that tell you about our owner, so-called owner? Who's talking to people about stretching?
But bar the owner stuff right now, for what they're identifying for Manchester United, and if we go back to off the owners, because that's just boring, isn't it? Realistically, we do it every day. I can't help but do it every day myself as well, Norridin, right? But off the bar, whoever the manager is, I'm just glad that what Ineos are identifying is buying footballers, proper footballers, for the club, for Manchester United. So regardless of what manager comes in, if it is to be Amorim or somebody else like Areola or Frank or whatever, then they've already got a good crop of players that are ready to go. So right now, Cunha, that's what technically signing number 7. Quite like that number 7 personally, but if they can go get number 8 through the door and Delap, I don't know what did he say this week? Is it this week he's making his decision by June the 1st? Or
4 days. Yeah.
4 days. So at that point, was that said yesterday? So Friday? So Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
So we'll know by Friday
Bruno?
what his decision is.
No.
Hopefully he leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he takes that offer. Please just get out. And then we can go and rebuild this stuff properly, or get a bunch of football players that are actually just good. Do you know what I mean? Just good footballers that know how to control a ball, pass a ball,
Absolutely.
and do the absolute basics. The basics. We can't even do the basics. We are the worst football side in the league by a mile. Ipswich are a better football inside than us at this current moment in time. Ipswich, and they got relegated, and Southampton, who bopped us at Old Trafford. I was there.
They did. Yeah.
And also Leicester to a degree, until we just had the more quality. They're crap. But I'm excited for I'm excited for this person. He's just got nothing else to get excited about.
No. But guys, before I just want to move on back to the player profiling and who we are going to sign. I want to show you this. This is on the left is Mbeumo's heat map. You see he hugs the line a lot of the time. He works up and down the right-hand side. And on the left, you see Cunha's heat map. You see he drifts a little bit more. He's more of a playmaker. And I see actually Cunha working as a number 10. But the funny thing is, if you look at this, so bear with me, I have a point somewhere. If I remove Cunha here and I type in Amad Diallo, look at Amad's heat map compared to Cunha. No, to Mbeumo. So it tells me a little bit about maybe we are signing Mbeumo to play a right wing back. If you look at the player profiling.
He's not a wing back, Jarvis.
You think that's a possibility?
No.
Well, is Amad a wing back?
No, they're not wing backs. But this is the point I was going to make, actually. The point I was going to make is both Cass and Nuruddin are right in what they're saying. But the real key element of a rebuild is always been you have to rebuild in stages. You always have had to rebuild in stages. Amorim's challenge is going to be he must have 3 ways of playing next year. He has to have 3 ways of playing. You can't have a single way of playing anymore in the Premier League. And it's been proven. You've got to be able to develop players to play a variety of different systems. Now, the big thing that absolutely fucking pisses me off more than anything about modern day footballers today. Oh, he's not a right back. Oh, he's not a centre forward. Oh, he's not this. Oh, he's not that. A footballer can be anything you want to be. You specialise in certain areas of the pitch. That's what you do. But as a footballer, you should be competent in all areas of the fucking pitch apart from goalkeeper.
The basics.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. And that's why I agree with what you said, Cass. It's exactly why I agree with what Nuruddin says. Nuruddin's point was massively poignant, and because he was off on what I like to call a Dini rant when I'm watching you, Nuruddin, and I'm giggling because you're off on. You get so focused and so. But you made a brilliant point about the rebuild. Are we rebuilding to be 8th next season? Probably, yeah. That's the point you're making is absolutely spot on, mate. And then after that, are we going to rebuild to go 4th? So this is what you guys are talking about in many ways, and that's how you rebuild a squad. Now, if we're buying Mbeumo to play as a wing back, and then we push Amad out to left wing back and Mbeumo to right wing back, we're just going to fall into exactly the same trap that he's fallen into this season.
If he does that, he gets sacked. He better get sacked.
Yeah, he does.
I swear on my life, if he does that, he better get sacked on the spot. Because there's no way you're buying a goal scorer to play him as a wing back. I know he wants to play attacking and high, don't get me wrong, but I don't want him boom out wide. I want him in front of the damn goal.
Yeah, exactly. Where he can score goals. But if I'm buying Nuruddin, for example, and I'm going to Liverpool saying, right, I'm having Nuruddin 50 million wants to come, I'm going to say to Nuruddin, I've earmarked you for 3 positions. This is where I want you, and I want you to focus on those 3 areas. And when I change the system, I want you as an 8 or a 10 or as a winger, because I need players that can be adaptable. You have to be able to adapt. You look at City 3 years ago. Forget all that happened now. Bernardo Silva pops up fucking anywhere, doesn't he? Everywhere. De Bruyne pops up everywhere. You know. Foden, when he was playing at a decent level, popped up everywhere. All these players weren't just slotting into single positions. They were moving and evolving in the game. And we need that to happen. So he's got to change the system. Jarvis, your point is absolutely right. And I know what you're saying with the heat map, but you would be wasting Mbeumo. Cass is right. You'd be wasting Mbeumo as a wing back. So if I'm Amorim, I am looking at 3 areas of how I can really adjust and make Manchester United difficult to beat. So really what you said mid kind of speak was absolutely right. This is a rebuild from 15th to 8th.
And the thing is, our defense isn't exactly horrific. It's the catastrophic bozo moments that come from our keeper. Someone said even in my chat, like Onana's made us concede a good 14 goals, and I'm thinking we conceded about 56 goals, I believe, right? Something like that. And you see the best defenses in the league, and you know they've conceded around 40 odd goals, and I'm thinking like we're much better now. I don't think our defense is the problem. It's one, the goalkeeper's just. The goalkeeper has to change as well. It's as vital as getting a new striker. It's just as vital, right? And so is getting a competent 8. This is why I scream about Toby Collier so much, because
you give up on Onana. Weren't you one of the people cheerleading for Onana after the Inter Milan, saying to him, "Get Onana, or we need a ball player"?
yeah. Well, that's like a good 2 years ago.
We're all excited then. I can't remember.
I wasn't. No. I wasn't. Ask Jarvis. I wasn't. I told everybody and their nan he's not the guy. But go ahead.
The thing is, of me, I don't mind putting my hands up and saying, yeah, I was wrong about that. But you know, like most people, you know, we see a certain player that does certain things in the Champions League, maybe, or maybe in Serie A or whatever, and you're like, you know what, we could do that. To be fair, we never really used the Onana to his advantages ever. We just made him ping the ball long. But regardless of that, he's garbage. So that's that. Don't care. Gotta go. But yeah, for me, it's I'm not about to do revisionism and saying about David Hay. We needed a new goalkeeper. We did. It's just that we just got the wrong one.
Agreed.
You know, and then guess what? If we got Diogo Costa instead of Nana, I guarantee it'd have been just as much of a bozo as him. I don't think he's all that. Don't like him. We just don't rely on our scouting enough and trying to go for the names too much before Ineos was in the door, trying to go get who's going to get us the most shirts. All right, anyway, we dive into all that crap. But for me, goalkeeper is just as important as getting a new striker that can play football. Because we can't keep getting dominated in certain areas where if it's a corner, let alone when it's, I don't know, just a simple damn save. You know, like you look at the one where we lost against the Brennan Johnson goal, the Luke Shaw own goal. I'm sorry, a competent goalkeeper saving that. How long did this guy? He dived on the spot. He does this thing where he dives on the spot. He is crap. Now, you don't need a whole squad for now. Why I don't mind this position now, and this is what Nuruddin was saying, are we building for 8th, whatever? If we get 8th, get out. Simple as that. Get out. That's not good enough. 6th for me is not good enough either. You better start. While we got 8 teams in Europe, you better take advantage of that. You better take advantage of that, you know, because Crystal Palace they got some new investment. I'm sure they're going to get some new players. I'm pretty sure they'll do all right in the Europa League. They get knocked out, but they'll do all right. So I don't even care about them. It's the other lot, really. Your Newcastles and that. I think they're going to go far. We just need to improve our 11. This is what I rave about Toby Collier in the 8 so much, is because he's athletic, he's aggressive. First phase is brilliant, but his passing range is weak. But I don't mind it because it's the basics. It's the other fucker next to him that I don't like. See, the other 8, the one that wants to spam crosses and spam like he's basically. I mean, there's people at work that they make themselves look busy to seem busy to the manager or whoever. They just look busy, but they're actually doing a bunch of nothing. That's how I view Bruno most of the time. Where would he be out of his goals? Allow it. He scored about 3-4 of those as penalties, and the other lot is from flipping set pieces. We basically just got a juiced up James Ward-Prowse. You know, someone that can get corners and you know, whip in a good corner or whip in a good free kick. If we get 180, 90, 100 million, if you're really about this life of a rebuild, we'll see how serious you are when that offer comes through. And let's say he is interested in going. Let's see if you accept. Let's see if you got the balls to really do it and say, you know what, we're scrapping this and we're starting it again. Let's see what you can do, because that 100 million could catapult everything you need for a fantastic 11 for me. And I don't want to hear about we got Diego Leon and all this kind of stuff. I've never seen this man play. I've never seen him. His touch is, what I've seen, his touch is horrendous, by the way, but he's super athletic. That's great. And he's a take-on merchant. Love that. But I'm not trusting someone that I've never seen. I've seen Mantanto play, though. He looks brilliant. So I'll trust that a little bit more. That should say everything I need to know. But if you've got that coming in the door, you can really build a pivot of your choice. And we'll see if you how good it is. What's this?
Is that
I'm not being
funny.
There's
some breaking news from Rob Dawson.
Can we dissect this a little bit quickly? He's got a release clause. Of course, you're going to have an agreement.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Do you know how much his release clause is?
It's 30 million. It's 30 million. Of course, he doesn't say anything that he's chose us. We just triggered the release clause that's going to be active in 5-6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nothing news.
It's nothing news. Yeah.
Do you I don't know if he's going to ask you, Nuruddin Stu, how confident and how much do you like Liam Delap? Because I always ask, convince me about this guy. I like his variety and catalogue of goals. Great. But something I hate that I've seen him a lot, which no one seems to want to identify, is he's on the floor as much as Højlund.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
When I say on the floor, it means when someone goes back, it goes into him, he drops like a sack of shit.
Yeah, he's for me, he's 3 years too early. If we bought him, 3 years too early.
Is this the correct time to actually get something like that? If you're going to build properly, this is the correct time, because I look at us and say we can't afford a 22-year-old.
We can't afford another Højlund. Nuruddin made the point earlier. Exactly the same. We need somebody, whoever that may be, alongside him, whoever that may be. And then I don't think he's a right move for us, but I've been on record as saying that.
For me, it's simple. He's got the raw materials to be a brilliant striker. I like the way he shoots. I said I did a player profile on him. He actually wins a lot of headers in the box from corners, free kicks, and when balls gets crossed. But the direction is horrendous. His direction on the balls in the air is horrendous. For the
you reckon that can be taught? That can be taught, though, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. So just. Yeah. I've said it before you came on the show. I think he's got raw materials. Jarvis will tell you, I've watched him some games and I've gone, I like this kid. I think he goes down to try to win fouls because he tries to put his body on the thing.
He does.
I think he's a lot more stronger. He's a lot more stronger than what Rasmus is. And if you wonder, nobody really wants to talk about it because it's not the flavor of the month, Rasmus. But to me, the big thing is about his burnout. We saw towards the end of last season when Ten Hag dropped him, he came back and actually had an impact in games. He's not ready. So for me, I take Delap if you've got a permanent proper number 9 as a striker. Could he somebody who developed, work on the other aspects of it and actually get used to being a striker for Manchester United? Yes. But he cannot be the main striker for Manchester United. And at 30 million, you should be able to have a player like him who's not young, who you can do a developmental plan for, Stu. What we used to do back in the day when it used to be a stable football club is fucking teach young players how to become a United player. Yeah. So how to cope with the rigorous effects of playing for Manchester United. In terms of Onana and the goalkeeper, I said it a long time ago. Onana should have gone when he cost Manchester United that Champions League that season. If Manchester United had any wits about him, they would have transferred him and got in another keeper. At the end of the day, he's not enough. He needs a developmental plan. He needs coaching, and that's what's needed. But do I think he's got the raw materials to be a really good striker? I don't think he's good at close quarters in terms of his feet. He needs to be able to move his feet quickly. I don't think he's a fox in a box yet. But in terms of what Amorim wants, strikers who run the channels and who like ball carriers, he's got Gyökeres kind of type of attributes. But exactly the same thing I said about Gyökeres. I said, what about playing against a low block? And we know that about Delap, is that when you play against a low block, he hasn't got that movement in the box yet. But it's something that needs to be learned. Those things can be taught. And if you don't know if those things can be taught, go and listen to Ian Wright, because Ian Wright was a late developer in terms of being a professional. Ian Wright came into the professional, and one thing that the Palace coaches worked with him, they worked with him on all aspects of being a striker. The weakest part of his game was his hold-up play. The weakest part of his game was going out wide and running the channels, all of that. He was, in terms of Sunday League and Amateur League, Ian Wright, he was just the over-the-top merchant. He had pace, power, but he had to learn. And the other thing is Andy Cole. Andy Cole came much later as a striker to Manchester United in his mid-20s. And if you watch Andy Cole, what he was at Newcastle, what he became at Manchester United was top day and night in terms of the players. So do I think that certain players can be improved? Is only good as your developmental plan for forwards and how much improvement and how much of that ceiling and how much can you get out of them?
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
I just want to say, Nordin, when it comes to Ian Wright, you know the striker from AS Monaco that I talked about, Mika Biret. He's been doing bits for Monaco this season, and his mentor is actually Ian Wright, teaching him all the skills because he came from the Arsenal Youth Academy. Brilliant striker, I think is undervalued, and I don't know why any big clubs aren't linked to him. He's been scoring shitload of goals for Monaco this season. I think he had the record in France. He scored like 3 or 4 consecutive hat-tricks in a row. So it's been amazing. No one is linked to him. No one has heard about him. I don't know why. I want to go to another topic for you guys. This came out today. It's Man United currently senior squad size includes loanees is currently 31 players. And they aim to reduce that to a number in the low mid-20s with less fixtures next season because of no Europe. So we're not, as Cass mentioned, we just need a strong starting 11. So I want to go to this, and maybe we can have a little bit of debate. We talked about this last time, but this is our team now, if we look at it. And if we sign Cunha here and Mbeumo here. So... And these are the players who's in the squad right now. We don't know if, for example, Bruno leaves or so. And the strikers are on the right and the defenders are on the left. So is this the strongest 11 we have right now? And is this a strong 11 that can compete for top 4, top 6 next season?
Well, the striking thing in here for me, I don't know about anyone else, is the 2 in the middle.
Yes.
I don't want to see Manu anywhere near the 8. And I don't want to see Agate on the pitch either. I think we'd learn to appreciate Agate if he had the correct partner. Just doing the basics, break up play, give it simple. But that all then comes to who is your partner. Can you get the best out of someone like Agate? Because he's not the greatest in first phase. He can be quite a bit of a liability. That's why I like Toby Collier a lot more than him. I'll be real. I'd rather play Toby Collier if he's fit and ready. Something tells me that he's not going to be here next season. Sekou Kone is going out on loan. That's already been confirmed.
Yeah.
Mount, I don't want to see anywhere near it. I hope he goes out on loan as well.
Kone's out.
I think Shaw's not going to be. I think Shaw's been told, from what I've been told, which is the person that told me, basically Heaven's starting. This is a day before, got receipts, and then also Anana and what's it called, Garnacho are told that they can leave. I've got told Shaw's going to be told because he wasn't one of the problems in the dressing room, make a fuss with the manager. They're going to say it's down to injury. He's actually told he can go. There's actually a lot of players that have been told they can leave.
Yeah.
I don't think Harry Amas will be here next season. I think go on loan.
He does loan, yeah.
I don't. Shaw can't be anywhere near this lineup.
To be honest, guys, you'd rather work with a squad of 22 players max. Even if you got Champions League football, that's what you would. That's your ideal squad. You know, people were taking a piss out of Guardiola a few days ago when he was talking about he wants a squad of 21 players. He's fucking right. Years and years ago, and Nuruddin will remember this, Aston Villa won the first division with a squad of 14 players. Now, irrespective of whether people say, well, they didn't have this, they didn't have that, at the time, they still used 14 players to the whole season, and they still had to play the likes of Liverpool, Manchester United, etc., etc., etc. It's all relevant. The squad of 21, 22 players at their maximum is what you need, because if you've got a squad of 26, 27, you know that you're either a bench player 9 out of 10 times, or you're not going to make the squad. So you don't have that real hunger to get back into it. Squad of 21 to 22 players, everybody's got a chance of featuring. Everybody. And you need to have that real fucking cutthroat part of being in a football team. We
competition.
We have it in the Mighty Tipton Town and everything. We're all 55, but we have it in the Mighty. We have a squad of 20 players. Okay, and then you want to make sure you hit that 16, and then you want to make sure you hit that 11. So it's a good group of players as well. Everybody's strong. Everybody's got good attributes. So we need to do that. But you've got to mix the squad quite nicely because you need to keep the odd one or two. Like Kaz was talking about Collier. I'd like to keep Collier around. I know Kono's going on.
I think Cheeto needs. I think he's going out on loan. He needs to go on loan for me. He does. Yeah. He can't be anywhere near this. He needs to go get experience. I think Amas goes out on loan. I think Shaw's going to go. So you can probably get. I think Frederick. You know what? Fredrickson's an interesting one.
Good player.
Yes. He seems very good. He seems like a very good ball player. He might be good to have it in and around the first team for a year at least. Yeah. But again, I'm pretty sure he's a little bit older. Probably should go on loan.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to afford the youngsters too much. If you're going to have a 21 squad, I don't think he makes the cut.
No, I totally agree. I'd send Hoyland out to Leverkusen.
Send him out to the Gulag.
Yeah, I'd send him out to
Den Haag.
Yeah, Leverkusen. I would.
That middle needs to change. If we're going to agree, so based off what this is, so two of those players.
We still have Bruno, but we don't know what will happen to him.
The two players in the front is basically our budget. I don't see Garnacho, so and that's a pure profit. I know we can spend 3 times the amount, but I think United would be stupid to do that, considering all the debts that's got going on as well. So you can use that to get the debts down if they're smart. So I'm going to put that across to Mbeumo. That's that money there. I don't see Anthony, I don't see Sancho, and I don't see Rashford. That's another 100 million. So right now, for what it's worth, let me think. Anthony, when you think of profits, you're pretty much cutting even, so that don't really count as much. Sancho, the same thing. The only one you're going to get real money from is Rashford, and I don't even think it's going to be 40 million. I think it's going to be 30 in the end. So that means there is room to buy probably a central midfielder of some sort for me. And that's where I look at the 8 spot. I think Manu needs to just look, and you're young, you're very talented. Look and learn how Cunha plays. You're going to play with better players. Take your chance a little bit more. You might be able to play in that situation depending on what kind of 8/6 you get. But we definitely need a progressive midfielder, not a ball carrier. We need a mix of both to go in at 8 for me for next season. If you want to look at something and say, you know what, we're looking at trying to get a decent position. And I think there's the only way. That's
just do like this. Wharton in. You buy Wharton.
I'm going to be honest. The only way we get
Wharton,
you
take Corsi out if you buy Wharton. You take Corsi out.
The only way you get Wharton in this is if we sell Bruno. That's the only way, and I don't even know if we even take that risk. That's the only realistic part. And say if you're going to try and tempt him, one, he's going to cost you 80 million minimum. So you're going to have to use that Bruno pure profit from Saudi if he's to go. A lot of that's going to have to go on him, and you can do and some. That's the only way. So Bruno, you might as well. For me, if you're going to put him in there, that means Bruno's out. And this is now we're playing FIFA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we're playing FIFA. Why right now? Be honest. Why I can understand why Mateta might want to come to us, but why would Walton want to come to us? Would he not want to bide his time and stay for one more year?
To be honest, Cass, I'd push Cunha in alongside Agate. I think you're right. I think Cunha is a perfect foil for him.
Wait, who?
I put Cunha alongside Agate. So the way I would play.
Wait, who? What? Who's Cunha?
Yeah, the way I would play.
Playing here.
Yeah, the way I would use Cunha is how I would use. I devised a bit of a system for the team. I'd like to run 3-3-3-1, and I think Cunha. I'm not saying put Xerxes in there, but Cunha's a more rounded player. So the thing about Cunha, Cass, is he'll play a central circle, so to speak, for us. That's it. So he'll play a central circle.
So you don't want to do Ten Hag, all right?
No, I don't want to do a 4-3-2-1. Yeah.
You want to do like this?
Yeah, that's what I want.
And then staggered midfield with one roaming and one side to side here.
You want us to concede about 70 goals next season, don't you?
No, they wouldn't do it because you'd move Ahmad and Dorgu, whoever the wing backs are a bit tighter to him. So instead of people attacking us down the middle, which we were having issues with next season, I want to force them down wide. And then as you can, basically what happens, Cass, is as you run transition, you kind of fan out slightly. So your zonal kind of pressing rather than in your face pressing. But you need the right personnel to be able to do it. And depending on how you want to run the, your own heaven, if it's your own heaven, for example, or something along those lines.
You realize we are back to the Ten Hag 3-1-6 formation.
Yeah, this is exactly what I said. We're back to Ten Hag.
I want to play it. It's not how I want to play it, though. Yeah, it's not how I want to play it.
But we got to be realistic. This is not what Amorim's going to do.
He won't do that, though, and I know he won't do it. But I don't want to play that. I don't want to play the way Ten Hag played it. I want to play it with a bit more structure. We didn't have the right players to play Ten Hag's system. But I agree with you.
I don't want to see Cunha anywhere near that 8, personally. I don't. That's like the conversation we had earlier. You know, Mbeumo, what's the point of buying him to not play him in his most effective position?
I like Cunha because I've seen Cunha play a few times. I like how he comes deep with it and he collects the ball deep. But the thing is, you need a rotational 4, don't you, up top? You need a rotational 4. You need a Cunha and a.
I don't think we need all of that much. I think Xerxes. I think Xerxes and what's his name again? Mainu is enough. And if you want to play Ahmad there, sure, you got an extra body there, and you can go play someone else right wing. But like Maz, if you need, you don't want to shorten a squad. Let's really shorten a squad.
We've got to tighten the squad up. There's no two ways about it.
If the lap gets injured, sure, put Cunha up front or put Mbeumo up top. Like that's the whole point of a short squad, in my opinion. We need to focusing on what's best for our 11. If I see Cunha at 8, I want the man sacked. Get rid of him.
It's kind of why I don't want Delap, because I think Delap hampers us.
I want Mateta. I don't want Delap. I reckon they only want Delap, not only because he's cheap, it's because they need to fill a quota of diversity and say, oh, wait, hold on, do we have enough white players in this team? That's what I think. Brexit means Brexit or Ineos. That's what I believe. I'd be getting Mateta all day long. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and I don't see him feeling about who's got Champions League football and who doesn't. I just think he wants to play for a bigger club. Otherwise, he would have signed his new contract by now and some.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, he's not signed, has he? Yeah.
For me, we need to go all out for an 8. We need, after them 3, we need to 100% go get some sort of 8. I don't know who. Can you tempt Edison now? I don't think it's possible, but go fight. That's a good reason why I'm not the recruitment manager. I would say go get Manu Kone because he's cheap and he's cheerful and he's amazing. But we was linked 2 years ago, and we haven't looked back since. It would be funny if we actually pulled that deal for Gravenberch, isn't it? What could have been?
Gravenberch, yeah. Who'd have thought that? Yeah, because he ended up having a great season, didn't he?
I love the fantasy, boys. I really love it. I really love your little fantasy. It is what it is, but if we're getting Cunha, Delap, and Mbeumo, I don't see that. I don't see Mbeumo. Manchester United like the player, but they have to sell, and you know what we like, selling players. We're dog shy. For me, the biggest thing is that it's the midfield. Amorim is another guy who vacates the midfield, and the wing backs are really important in this system. So for me, the wing back has to be better than Dogu. Dogu's a 20-year-old who's just learning on the job, and we've signed him for 25 million. He would be in the reserves. He would be third choice, in my opinion. Manchester United need to go and get wingers who can play as wing backs. Ahmad is becoming injury prone. I don't trust him. There's a reason why you took Martinez out of that team, Jarvis, and put the lit.
He's here.
Yeah,
he's injured.
Yeah, he's injured, but that's what I'm saying to you. So Collier, I do like, and I agree with Kaz that Collier has got abilities. I just don't think
injury prone again, man.
As well.
I think for a long time he was also dropped. I genuinely get the feeling Amorim does not rate him.
I don't know why, man. The guy's better than the guy.
But yeah, he's better than Casemiro, actually. He's got better legs than Bruno in the number 8 in that area.
Every time he plays,
he's better than Bruno. Yeah, he's better than Bruno in terms of the legs and the level of aggression and the hustling and the ball winning back ability that he has. And he's actually positioning, he can be very disciplined. And he can ghost in, and he's got the legs to run in behind people. But yeah, his passing is something, he's still young, he can improve certain things, but we don't have that we don't have that developmental coaching method with a lot of the players. We just throw them in and get them out.
I don't remember Hillman exactly being amazing at passing. That's why I'm confused why he's not using him in the 6. That was your guy. He wanted that kind of profile. Cool. Obviously, you can't have the perfect six. They don't
At
exist.
the end of the day, I don't know why, but at the end of the day, Mbeumo's not signed. The only player that we've signed apparently is Delap. But I'm one of these people that you have to. But in terms of going for fantasy, Manchester United need 2 centre halves. We need 2 wing backs. We need 2 strikers, and we need 2 number 10s. How about that? Let me repeat for the people. We need a goalkeeper. Let me remind people. We need a goalkeeper. We need 2 centre halves. Because I need to get rid of Maguire, and I need to get rid of who else is there, like Lindelof, Zorrigan, but Maguire.
Evans, and that's already gone, isn't it?
No. Evan is a young player. He's a developing player.
Evans. I mean,
I wouldn't.
Squad space.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, he needs to develop. He's still raw. I watched him. He was on my side on Saturday, and he's still raw. He does a lot more good things. I agree, but he's still raw.
Still got Maz.
So we need to be able to do something about him 100%. He's still raw. And what we need to do for me is that we need players that can play, that are athletic. The most important thing is physicality and technical ability. Do you have those 2 in abundance? Because Manchester United have got a lot more players who are horrendous.
Yeah, that's what I said. Athleticism is a big thing. That's why Bruno and centre mid just don't work. The thing is, you don't need everyone to be mad athletic. Sometimes you just need to know how to get about. You need aggression. But if you're not going to be mad athletic, at least be very technical and you know how to get about the pitch a little bit. AK your Modric he's not mad athletic. Well, he's quite athletic to be fair, but he's not mad like he's not a brute. Do you know what I mean? But or João Neves or Vitinha, they'd work in the Premier brilliantly. Do you know what I mean? They pretty much played the pivot themselves while Fabian Ruiz goes off and does his own thing. So for me, it's just, but we do need it right now because the Premier League demands it and we demand it. That's why every time you put what pairing you want, that's why I've got Collier in there, and that's why I don't want Bruno. Because he's not press resistant. If Bruno was press resistant, I'd be glorifying him as probably one of the best players I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's his biggest problem. And he's not a dribbler. He can't dribble with the ball. And drive the ball. That's one of my problems.
That's why he needs to go. That's why I hope he goes.
Yeah. At least if we get 100 million, as the rumors say, or 110, we don't know yet. But
we have to go forward.
To my quick yes or no, do you think a squad like this would be able to compete for top 4 next season?
No
chance.
No chance.
No chance.
Tops, you know what? Tops, because of 1 game a week, if they were on fire, 5th max, and that's just stretch. Realistically, probably fighting for 6th and 7th, 8th. In my opinion, because that midfield is still crap.
8th for me. Yeah, it wouldn't finish top 4.
I mean, I just realized you've got Emi Martinez there. I think that's unrealistic. I think Vanya is or the price. They will ask for 40 million for Emi Martinez. We're not giving 40 million for Martinez. Not for me.
Depends if you get to sell Onana to Saudi.
Even if he does, but we got to give that. We got to give.
What's that fantasy, Jarvis? It's that fantasy. Another fantasy.
Even if you sell Onana,
he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
Even if you did sell Onana, they're asking for it's like 20-25 million rumored, but that goes straight to Inter Milan, pretty much.
He's not going anywhere.
That's why I say I don't think it's realistic that we get someone like Emi Martinez when they're gonna definitely for us they're gonna ask for like 40 million, if not 50, and that's why I think we look at that Joan Garcia, who's linked, but I think we go for that Vanya. He's like. He's a beast.
The biggest thing I would say,
this came out today.
In terms of goalkeeper, we should go and get James Trafford. For me personally,
I agree, but I thought he was Newcastle bound. You know, I thought he was Newcastle bound. He had the hottest link.
Mats Hermansen, the Danish goalkeeper we are linked to.
How old is he?
Leicester keeper.
How old is he? He's good, but how old is he?
He's 22, 23, still young.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It's lazy journalism.
Yeah,
lazy journalism. So it's just.
He's Danish.
That too.
I just hate journalism like that. It's an embarrassment to the industry. It's just fucking embarrassing.
He's Danish.
No more of those, and no more 23-year-olds in goal.
Breaking news. Jarvis is signing for Manchester United. He's from Norway, after all. Same country as Oliver.
Hey.
Obviously.
the new Jesper Olsen.
Yeah. And the Telegraph also reports today that the Saudis are showing interest in Onana. Always the Saudis, not a specific club. It's from
I think there's definitely concrete links to go over there, but yeah, I think we'll see after this tour that we're doing. That makes no sense. I feel sorry for the players, man. I feel so sorry for you know what? I don't like this group of players, but I feel sorry for them at the same time because they're human after all. You know, like that song as it says. But it's like, how can you do a pre-season? What's football turned into? Let them have their rest. Let them go and do what they need to do. Go sell and ship who they need to go and go and do whatever you need, whatever. Let them rest, man. It's stupid.
I blame them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I blame them. Do you know why? 5 of them, all they had to give, 6, 7 of them had to give £1 million each, and then United would have had that 7.78 million that they needed, and then they wouldn't have to go to.
I'm not being funny, but someone giving up $1 million of their money is mental, even for a rich person.
So, yeah. But at the end of the day, you know how much. Let me just tell you something. Luke Shaw, in the 10 years he's been there at Manchester United, guess how much he was paid in wages?
Oh, I know. I've seen something mental about that. He's only played like 285 games or some crap. Overall, some crap.
Must have been paid 100 mil.
59 or 58 million.
But that's not Manchester. That's Manchester United's fault.
So that's what I'm trying to say to you. So these players, what you're looking at, they're multimillionaires. I think. I personally think Bruno should have done a whip around with the boys. 10 of them put together, 500 grand each. There you go. 10 million Manchester United. They don't have to go to at all. This is how embarrassing it is. Manchester United finished 15th. So what are they going to go on parade in Malaysia? 15th, we finished 15th.
Just to collect a good 8.7 million, is it to collect?
9 million quid, I don't know. Yeah.
Fucking, and there's another one after that as well. So it's like, okay, what is that going to get you?
So this is, but I'm sorry, Kakas, this is what you support Ineos. You know, this is Ineos.
No, but this is what Glazers have done overall.
No, this is Ineos.
This is Glazers. This is Glazers. This is what happens.
No,
I have never listened. Whichever way you want to paint the picture. I've heard you 50 odd times talking about Ineos and Glazers.
Let me finish.
But I hear it. I'm not even going to listen because I've heard it.
Let me finish the point.
I can't be, bro.
Glazers is later. Glazers is when they come back.
You're boring me, bro. You say
Glazers when they. No, you're not listening. You gotta let me finish. At the end of the day, if you want to shut your eyes to the biggest problem of your football club, that's
because you talk about it every day, every second. I hear it on site.
Yes, I do. Because I refuse to see. No evil. I refuse to not talk about it. I talk about it because they are the biggest issues. They're the reason why we finished 15th. But you want to ignore that and blame on Amorim and go, this guy needs to go.
Blame on
Amorim. Is going to got us there.
You
tell me how many players Manchester United signed in the last 3 years.
This is the result of Glazers.
Why did we finish 15th? Because you didn't hear me. Instead, you're waffling.
No, I'm not waffling.
Because you're not letting me finish the point. The point that I was going to make was that the US tour is Glazers because that's what they've done every other season. This Asia tour is Ineos because that's what they want. Glazers have never sent Manchester United on 2 pre-season tours or 2 end-of-season tours. The players usually finish, they go on holiday, they come back, they go to the US, we play on different fucking time zones in different departs. They come back, the first 5 games were in trouble because they're fucking shattered. That is what the Glazers usually do, but you didn't let me finish. The reason why I talk about the owners, there's fucking rots from the head. If you want to close your eyes to the biggest problem at your football club, then that's your own comfort. That's what you want to do. But people want to listen to me. That's why certain people tune into my channel, because they want to listen to me. And I bang on about it every day. And I will bang on about it for the next 20 years or 30 years. I will do that. Because that's the problem. The problem ain't no managers or coaches or players. It's the people who are the fucking football club. But if you want to close your eyes to it, do it.
No one's closing your eyes. I just hear it it's just boring, isn't it? That's me being honest. I'm an honest person. I don't close my eyes to it. I talk about it myself. It's just that I don't. Every time I'm having a transfer debate, I mean, go back to Ineos. Then we have another bit of transfer debate.
Who buys players? So we can never mention them. We can never mention them. But we can never mention them.
Oh, no, you don't let me finish.
Who the fuck signs the checks?
Brother, you're getting stressed out for no reason.
Who the fuck signs the checks?
This show's got nothing to say about Glazers.
You've mentioned them 4 or 5
times. It's boring.
Do players by themselves?
It's boring.
Answer the question. I want you to answer me the question.
I don't want to answer the question.
When players are bought, who signs the checks? Who signs the fucking check?
You're boring me.
Invisible person. Our Man United, it's not Ineos or Glazers. So it's the invisible person who writes the fucking checks. You're waffling now. You're just a bootlicker. You sound like a bootlicker, man. That's what you sound like. You sound like a bootlicker, man. You sound like a bootlicker. You trust Ineos. You trust after they fucking destroy your football.
Guys, can we take a sense?
You're waffling, man. You're fucking waffling. You're waffling, man. You're waffling. You're waffling. No, I'm passionate. I'm not angry. I'm fucking passionate. You're waffling because you're telling me it's not Ineos. Ineos have already 50 fucking million. They cost a club 50 fucking million. But you want to close your eyes to it? Oh, I can't see. I can't see. I can't hear.
Time out.
Okay. We don't agree on the Ineos thing. And let's just do the Q&A. Guys, get your questions in.
United have finished 15th. They finished 15th.
Then leave.
Because of the owners.
Then leave. I'm here to talk about transfers, not Glazers every fucking 5 minutes.
Who signs the fucking checks? Who signs the check?
Don't care.
Q&A coming up. Get your questions in. I will play the jingle. We will have a 5-second timeout, and then we go to the Q&A session of the show.
Q&A.
Yes.
No, it didn't.
Yes, guys and girls, we are at the Q&A session of the show. The last part of the show we will do about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do about
10
minutes.
In. Yeah. And the show must go on. So let's just go into it. Stu, you will be the host and ask the questions as usual.
I will indeed. Welcome to the Q&A. Guys, first and foremost, there's a massive 345 of you watching. Cass has put a brilliant raid on for us. Thank you ever so much for that, pal. He's done a couple of raids for us over the last few weeks. Hope Nuruddin's all right, mate. I don't know what's gone on there really, but at the end of the day, football is a passionate sport, and we're all passionate on this channel. So we'll do a Q&A now. We'll finish it off. We've got 5 questions, unless any of you have got any more. And we've covered all these questions as well, but we'll go into it one more time. And Junior Davis, if you're still watching, pal, he's asked about Mateta. I know, Cash, you've already covered Mateta. Do you want to talk a little bit more about him, and then Jarvis come in, see what you think?
Simple words: lamppost.
Yeah,
that's it. If you're gonna get an Mbeumo and Cunha, you want a lamppost, you want to hold up, man, and someone that's actually quite good at running channels still, as for a 6'4" guy. For me, he's perfect, and he's already playing in a 3-4-3. He's got Eze and Ismaili Sarr. I know they're quite different profiles, but I'd like to say Eze and Cunha can be quite similar. Sarr and Mbeumo could be a little bit similar because they're outlets, aren't they? So, and there's always one thing I like to look at is like how good your hold up play. I would say he's just strong, isn't he? He's a strong man. And one thing we keep getting told with ourselves, we just get bullied all the time. When they got up front, we lose it because Højlund gets bullied. You're not bullying Mateta. He's a handful.
Yeah.
And that's what I like, is he's a handful. I mean, I think Liam Delat's got better link-up play in terms of he's a bit more cute with it, and he wants to run in behind more time. But, Mateta's happy to do the flick-ons and da-da-da-da-da. He's a battler. I like that.
Yeah, I quite like Mateta. I mean, he was the one. Jarvis, we were talking about the Martinez challenge yesterday. Yeah, we were talking about another goalkeeper and a forward that had it similar. It was Mateta. He got taken to hospital, if you remember. It's FA Cup.
Yeah,
against Millwall or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And no, I like Mateta. I agree. I think we need a big, strong hold-up player. It was, somebody who can, like you say, if we're going to have Mbeumo, we're going to have Cunha. Both of them are running from deep. We want them to be able to run into the channels. we need somebody to hold the ball up when you're under pressure. Also, you need players to hold the ball up. So for me, I do like Mateta. I think we're getting quite cheap as well, won't we? Jarvis, what do you think, pal?
Well, I'm not a big fan of Mateta. I think he's too robotic in his movements,
Okay.
and I think he's too clumsy on the ball. I would like a more smoother striker who's better on the ball, can actually do something with the ball alone. I think he's a bully in a way, and he bullies the centre backs, and we need that, but it's not for me. Not for me. I think we can do better, and I want us to do better. And
who's better? Who's better? Can you give me? Rather than the lap stuff, have you got like anyone in mind that you thought? You know what? I know we got one link with Moise Keane, which I'm not sold on that guy, regardless. But is there one in mind?
Well, I did some scouting, and I mentioned the Danish guy Mika Biret, that plays for Monaco. I think he's brilliant. But there's other strike. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
There's one for St. Etienne. He's a young striker. I'd like to keep tabs on him. He's straight at St. Etienne. I can't remember his name, but he popped up for me, and I just thought, who's this guy?
This is the guy, Mika Biret. I think his name is.
Yeah,
he's quite good. I did some scouting on him, and I think he could choose. He could fit us very well. But I would also like to go for someone who's Premier League proven. He would be a chance to take a big chance, but. We have talked well about Jared Bowen, for example. I think he's a good striker.
Oh, he's tall, isn't he?
Yeah, I like Bowen. It's not brilliant hold-up play, though, is he, Jarvis? But as an all-round footballer.
Yeah, but he's versatile. I like strikers.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he's versatile. Yeah, no, I like him.
Yeah.
Hold on. This guy called Gyökeres is English. Danish.
No, he's Danish, but he's
Danish.
He's born in London. He's got English citizenship, so he technically would that not technically be the Brexit quote and homegrown?
Yes, he played for Arsenal.
Jarvis.
He came through the Fulham Academy and then to the Arsenal Academy.
Oh, fair play. I'm gonna watch. I'll watch a compilation because that's all I'm gonna get of him, really. So
Vlahovic, we would have taken him 2-3 years ago, all day long. Vlahovic was superb back then, just not now. Great question, Jarvis. One for you, pal.
Okay,
from Yarla Momeen. Jarvis,
he looks good.
What do you think about the club telling Shaw to get a new club? That's interesting. It's a right move for me.
Yeah, you've always been long gone. Giving him a new contract. He has a contract that ends 2027, I believe. So I think it will be a hard sell, especially when he's that injury prone and he's on, I would say, 160, 70 pound.
Yeah, he's on a lot a week. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only way I think we can get rid of him is trying to offload him for free and maybe pay part of his wages. That's the only way I see we get rid of him, and I don't think we have the money doing it. So I think we will rather chance on Shaw staying and just hoping that he can stay injury free and play as a squad player. But yeah, I would definitely love for us to sell him, but I don't think so. I think he will stay.
For me, he's got to go. I totally agree. I think he's a wasted squad member for me. Earns too much money, but he's got 2 years left on his contract, hasn't he? Didn't we trigger something or renew him 2 years ago for some daft reason? There you go. Shaw's on 200 grand a week.
Yeah, too high.
For me, he's got to go. I want to bring this question up next. She's not quite in line, story, but I do want to bring this up because we have mentioned him, and that is Alexander Sorloth.
No.
Question, yeah. So, question to both. Do you think Sorloth would fit us?
No, don't want to see him anywhere near us.
Don't you think it's good enough?
No. I think he's good at the pace of the game where he is. Good off the bench type striker, impact striker.
Good record, hasn't he, in Spain?
I'm not his biggest fan at all, whatsoever.
He was poor at Palace, wasn't he?
It was a poor. In fairness, he was young, a lot more younger, and he was a poor Palace. It was a poor Palace that couldn't find goals. So he's definitely got a lot better, but he just gives me a morale. Sometimes I think players are just good in the leagues that they are.
Yeah,
Premier League, he would do well, but I don't think it's proper mid-table for me. For me. And I don't really want to view us as mid-table, not yet.
No, true. Jarvis?
Yeah, when he plays for the Norwegian national team, I think he's really good. I think he's doing really well. And when I see him play for Athletic, I think he's a striker that needs service. He's in the box. He's centrally. He's big. He likes to wrestle with the centre backs. He's a good header. But besides that, I think it's better when I see him at the Norwegian national team. He's more of a link up. He likes to drop down. He even plays on the right wing because Haaland plays central striker for Norway, and he does quite good, as a semi-winger striker part of role. So, but I wouldn't take him at Man United, I have to be honest. Also, for me, he's too robotic in his movement, and I think we need better technique and better smoothness on the ball.
Okay. Fun fact about Solos, most people thought he was Russian by virtue of his surname.
Like Ivan Dragon.
Yes, by virtue of his surname. People who didn't know him thought, Solos, he's got to be Russian by virtue of his surname. Just before we go anyway, go Gadget Pappy's in the house. Pappy.
Big up, Pappy. Big up.
Good to see you, Pappy. We haven't seen you for a while. Big up, mate. Big up. Just a quick one on Julian Alvarez. I do like him, but the City, he went to obviously sign for City rather than Manchester United. So unfortunately, we couldn't have him. But no, I do like him. Let me just start up. Jamie, we've covered the Emi Martinez. I definitely would sign him because I just love his shithousery. For the comedy value, I would sign Emi Martinez. Quick yes or no, Cass?
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, you're gonna 100%. I just think it's unrealistic with the fees and
agreed.
But he's declined this season. There's a reason why Villa is not renewing his contract.
I like to think, but he's got this. He's still got like 2-3 years left.
Yeah.
And then it's going to command a 40 million fee, which we can't agree. And I'd rather not put 40 million into goalkeepers when there's like 20 million ones going around cheap. I mean, I'd take him all day long. I think you could take advantage of the Villa situation a little bit, but I don't think Villa would want to sell to us. And second of all, I've got a feeling he wants to move countries.
What kind of wages are we talking about?
For Martinez?
Yeah. He's only about 65, 70 grand. Villa aren't big payers, I don't think, are they?
He's on 150k a week.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, Villa?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not happening.
Are you sure?
Yeah, well, according to FB Ref, he's on...
I don't think Villa were that big. I don't think Villa were paid that big.
Yeah, they've got one of the biggest wage bills. Well, not one of the biggest, but like when it comes to their ratio, it's quite mental. Yeah, he's on 150 base. Yes, I'm on Capology right now as well, so something must be quite crazy.
He's 33 years of age, so
he's probably looking. I've got a feeling he's looking for that last payday.
He would be.
Sounds like Saudi to me, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm surprised at that, but I'd still take him. I like him. Cheers for that, Jamie. We'll come to your Grealish question in a bit. Let's see what else we've got. Again, we've covered this one, boxing straight talk. But question for the panel: does Amorim see out next season? Jarvis, we'll start with you on that one, pal.
Well, I have to be honest. It all depends on the backing, but I don't think he will survive because the morale is so at the low point right now, and if he gets a bad start of the season, let's say he loses 5 out of the first 10 games, that's not unrealistic when you think of Man United. I think people will have enough. And I think knowing Ineos, I think they will pull the plug when we come around Christmas time if we are below 10th in the league. I don't think they are willing to bet everything on Amorim. So that's just my speculation. But personally, I back him, and I would just love for them to just come out and say, we will support him. We give him 4 years. No more talking about sacking the manager. This is a long-term project. But the problem is the club won't do that. So I don't think it will stay. I think he's a system manager, and that's his biggest problem because he needs particular players in this system. And I don't think we will back him enough. As Noradin mentioned, maybe we need 8 to 10 players.
Yeah. Cass, what's your thoughts?
I want him to succeed, obviously. One, I get to clown everyone. And I'll force people to say my bad. But it's like it's a bit too difficult right now. We're coming off of a loss of a Europa League final and we've lost 4 times to that team. We finished 15th. Right now, it's a little bit hard to say yes. I think that's unrealistic because the evidence for what we've seen, until we see a few games, the first few games of the season, I don't think it's an easier question to answer. And also, we need to see what comes in the door. I think 1 game a week is going to kick into play around October for us and help us out a lot more against other sides. But bar that, it depends on the summer. Because I think it's realistic that we can get 4 or 5 signings attacking mainly. So that's goalkeeper, centre mid, and the 3 attackers. I don't think we need more than that if you want to keep a short squad, including some of the youngsters, like a couple of them, not all of them, just a couple, and trusting them. I think that's all it really takes. We saw, I don't want to use them as reference, but Forest finished 17th. They bought about 5 players. That not all of them are exactly in the first team, but they are in the first team, but they're like starting wise. Milenkovic and all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, it's like, wow, they're up third. I don't take us for Forest. I think we'd have better depth and quality regardless. So
Cass, you have to be honest, the season before they signed about 20 players. So it takes a little bit of time
to
keep the team going.
That's why I don't think we need it. Remember, Nuno come in halfway through the season. He finished 17th, technically, and whatnot. He done a little bit better than Cooper, but, it can be done. Like, it's not unknown. We always say, every team's going to get better, but we say this every single flipping year. And then before you know it, someone's going to have a drop off. And I don't think it's going to be us.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope he sees our next season. And I hope we finish in a good place. And I hope, again, as United fans, we need to be demanding domestic trophies as well. If you've got 1 game a week, you need to go far. You need to show us that we can win a
treble. Domestic treble.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
But yeah, your point's right there. Your point is, we've got 1 game a week next season. We've got to show we can win at least 2 trophies. I totally agree.
Yeah, I think you can go deep in both competitions, and we're gonna have to start very early in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup rounds. So,
I totally agree.
A lot of practice.
Yeah, are we starting in the second round?
Oh yeah,
we start early. Yeah, we're in early doors. Yeah, we're in early doors.
Round, it's good practice. You got to think it has to be extra games. You got to look at it like that, and you can't exactly say, I'm gonna throw in the youngsters and do. No, you got to play your first team, mate. You got 1 game a week. You get better. You want to get your pre-season to go. That's your pre-season against, I don't know, Birmingham City or something like that.
Or whoever. Yeah, no, I totally agree. No, I'm with you guys, actually. I think it's very, very, very hard to answer the question. It's a good question, boxing, actually. But I would like to see him here for the next 3 years, personally. That's what I would like, because I think we need stability. I can't see it happening. I agree with you too. But I would like to see him for the next 3. If he can get over this hurdle of the next 8 months into the season. But time will tell. I don't know much about this, guys. So I will put this to you, Cass, and you, Jarvis. Hassan, great question. I think you're new to the channel, pal. I haven't seen your name, so apologies.
He's the Brighton guy.
Oh, is he? I don't, like I said, I don't know much about him. Do you, what do you think, guys?
Who's this? Which one?
Bringing in Baleba.
Baleba is indeed the
from Bryan,
yeah.
He's amazing, but 100 million.
Well, there you go.
I mean, if Bruno goes, I'd like to think we might go for someone like Baleba, but I want Adam Wharton more.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go spend big money and take a risk, it's Adam Wharton for me.
Yeah, you like Wharton, don't you, Jarvis?
Baby Michael Carrick.
Wharton is better on the ball, but Baleba, he what do you call it? He's
a lot more physical.
Rides with the ball. Yeah, he covers a lot of ground. He was the Caicedo replacement for Brighton, and
I know you mean. I couldn't place the name.
But playing in a 2-man midfield, I think we need a player like him, a big guy who covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, I saw Wharton. I think I prefer the playmaker in that position. He's someone that can actually
really the mix. Sander Birch.
Oh my god!
Well,
the one that got away. I wanted him. See, I'd like to think he's still an option. I mean, if he's going to be for cheap, I'm thinking, cool. Can you go back and go get him, please? Because you missed out on that one. He's the perfect first phase midfielder that we need. I can't believe it.
Jarvis is drooling. Look at him. Jarvis is drooling. We were talking about him.
Do you know what? I wanted him over Agate, and I remember when I was on the Rants show, me and Rants were talking about it, and we got laughed at. No, honestly, because he played for Sheffield, no Burnley, we got laughed at.
Yeah.
And again and again, the thing is, we wanted him from Sheffield, and we still said no. That's what makes it even worse.
We could have had him for 4 million at Sheffield, couldn't we? Was it 4 million?
Imagine this: we could have had Caicedo for 5 million, and we could have had him for about 6 million. He's like, oh my god, and Julian Alvarez for 15 if he decided to pay out the money. Oh my god! All of a sudden, you've got an amazing recipe sorted. This is why I think when it comes to these Sekou Kone deals, you've got to take them. You have to take them.
Yeah.
What's the worst?
Haaland for 4, couldn't we, Jarvis? Haaland for 4.5.
Yeah, we missed out on Haaland too. Yeah.
Great question. Great question. Saying thanks for that. Let's have a look. We've done Sorloth, we've done Julian. Okay, a couple of questions left, guys. Tyrone, good to see you, Tyrone. Thanks for joining us, mate. I like this.
No,
actually, and it is a simple question. It's a simple answer for me as well. But I'll go to you guys. After his loan spell with Betis, would any of you take Anthony back? I think the question is, would Anthony want to come back?
Didn't he just come out recently in an interview saying how awful he used to cry on the phone to his brother that he's got nothing left and he didn't have no willpower? Hell no, the guy's got no mentality. I don't want. Oh, there we go, lovely.
Yeah,
Brown Q, a definite no. If a guy is crying about getting paid hundreds of thousands to play football for Manchester United, don't be here, please. You're too emotional for my liking. Bye.
I think we do a deal with Betis. Actually, I read somewhere he might be on guys. I thought Atletico were in for him. Yeah. I think we'll do quite well. I think we sell him and we sell him quite quickly. Because Atleti are going to the World Cup, aren't they?
Oh, yes, they are. They should be.
So in that case, we could sell him within the first week in June.
Please. I still think we can. I think he goes for more money than Rashford. I'd say I heard 32.5, but what he's putting up at the moment.
How many goals he scored for Betis?
Don't be stupid. I don't think we'll command that. They'll know what position we're in. I think you can get something between 35. I think 35, 40 million. Say, you know what? Yes, done. Finished.
Make a little bit. Scored for Betis? 8, 9?
I'll get this. I'll get these stats up. And he might win a trophy. Actually, yeah, he's going to win a trophy. How about that?
I think they'll beat Chelsea, Betis.
I think he's had 9 goals so far.
9 goals.
9 goals.
9 goals. So, interesting fact here, guys. I think in the last 27 European finals, not consecutive, concurrent finals, but last 27 European finals that a Spanish team has attended, they've won.
Oh my god, that's a stat and a half.
I know, it's a hell of a stat, isn't it? Yeah. So, I think they beat Chelsea. I really do.
I'm not convinced with Chelsea's, but even against Warsaw and all that, I'm not convinced. But they've got a moment right now. They've got a big momentum shift. Like, they've got the Champions League. They're on one focus. They look like they're playing a lot better, more resolute. It's going to be a good game.
It's going to be I'm looking forward to it, actually. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good game. Cheers for that question, Tyrone. Very quick one here. Jarvis, if you check the stats for Alex.
No, thank you.
No, okay. Cass knows.
I don't know anything about this guy. He plays for Villarreal.
Yeah.
Spain is a left-footed forward. No, right-footed forward, plays on the left. Okay, let's see stats. 7 goals, 9 assists in 32 games so far this season. If you look at his stats, well, it looks good. 95 percentile, 99. So when it comes to goals and assists, he has an output. Progressive passes looks good. Carries is a ball carrier, 3.16 per 90. That's quite good. And progressive passes received. So we also roam a lot in front of the ball. When it comes to defensive stats, it's terrible. 3rd percentile in tackles and headers.
If you're an attacking player like that, then you probably don't really care for that. To be fair, but I'm saying no, he's weak. He's weak. You know what he is? It's a good option to have as a starter. No chance, not for me. I've seen this guy play plenty of times. I'm sorry, too weak. He gets shifted on the ball. Ole Aina would see if he comes up against someone like Ole Aina, he eats him up.
That's good knowledge to have. Cheers for that, guys. Quick one from Wendell. Wendell, we've kind of we've covered this a little bit earlier in the stream, but Jarvis, I'll let you answer that one. Hello, guys. What are the chances of the club getting rid of Shaw, Casemiro, Højlund, Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, Anana, Obama? If we got Barack Obama, good lad. Bayern, Malacia, and Mount. Of course, we've forgotten about Malacia, haven't we?
Yeah.
A few million, probably
He won
get
the
10
league.
million. Oh, yeah, he did. I don't think he played a lot, though.
Yeah, it's imperative we get rid of the Deadwoods. Jarvis, I mean, we have covered this, Wendell. And we would trim.
Some of them are tough sells. I think Højlund is a tough sell. Same with Casemiro because of its wages. Mason Mount, he will never be sold. No, so
maybe
some
alone.
of these players will. Yeah, maybe alone. But why would we loan him out? Then we have to replace him with who?
I mean, if you're talking about the 22. And I've already remember we said in the two positions, you got A and B of what we viewed, and then you got Xerxes and let's just say Kobe, right?
Yeah.
And then you got, let's say, I don't know, you've already got it depends if Bruno stays. Let's say there's a replacement, doesn't really matter. You've got Agate, Casemiro probably stays. Then the other position is like who's gonna be there? It could be Collier, and it's like, okay, but where's the space? Like honestly, where's the space for this guy? Is it not better just to do what you did with Anthony? Don't fish it on, don't like I think he likes him, but you know what? He probably does keep him around. I think he likes his application at least. But for me, it's like, how can you get this guy's value up? He needs to vacate number 7 for one. He's on big wages, so the club's not going to like that for someone that's probably not going to play and be a star. How can you look at let me give you the instance. You got Mbeumo, you got Cunha. That means Mount's not in starting. He's not in your first team plans, as in your first 11. So you're going to be a waste. You might as well just go on loan, do your best. Of course, get a fee next year, an option or something.
How are we doing on the homegrown rule and British players? Do you know?
If you go through it, then okay. I don't know if it counts. See, a lot of this stuff gets over my head. I think
how many is it? 17 or 18? We can be foreigners.
I mean, in the Premier League, aren't we quite fine?
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine for homegrown. You only need one or two in the squad. Yeah.
They'll probably just add whoever's needed. I think the academy stuff doesn't count, correct?
No, yeah, the academy stuff doesn't count. But to be fair,
3 years. Is it 3 years that we need?
It's three players, and we've got them anyway. Jarvis.
That's what. So that's why we really want probably Liam Delap, especially.
Might well be a homegrown.
The backup, I'll guarantee the third. Tom Heaton staying. I'm correct if I'm correct for another
I
season.
I
guarantee the backup goalie will be English or Scottish or whatever.
Well, you got Kobe Mainers in the first team squad.
We was looking at Freddie Woodman, wouldn't we? From for free on a free as well from Preston. Good goalie, by the way.
Yeah, you've got Harry Maguire's in the first team squad if he stays. You've got players. You've got
Kobe would count now as homegrown because of.
Kobe would count as homegrown. Yeah, we've got players. Yeah.
We also did. That's actually a really good. Ahmad would count as homegrown now. No, maybe he came quite young. Quite young.
Yeah,
yes, academy. I think
was he technically part of the academy, and then
he might have been actually. Yeah, so technically he would if he was. Because he was. Yeah, he did go into the academy, didn't he?
He did, didn't he? Yeah. He did. He got signed for it. Who else is there then? You know what? Mount might have to say just for home.
We'll have enough. Wendell, thanks for your question, mate. Penultimate question comes in from Barman. Cass, Jarvis, and Stu, please answer separately. Where do you see us ending up at the beginning of the season? So I think at the end of next season, where does he?
Where do you see us ending at the beginning of this season?
Or in the beginning of last season?
Where did you? So he's saying, where did he see us? Yeah, so it's this season he's talking about. Sorry.
I'm very shameless. I said third, fourth.
I said fourth. I said fourth, not Jarvis.
I think I said sixth or seventh.
You said seventh. I said fourth. I thought we were down at fourth.
Yeah. And I based it on I didn't think we strengthened our squad enough. We sold players like Wan-Bissaka and replaced him with and player for player Varane, and we replaced him with Lenny Yoro, for example. I don't think it strengthened our squad man for man.
This season, I would like to have a good start. I would like to keep away from the relegation sides for one. Don't like that. I'd like to play your Fulhams or Wolves or something like that. Like your first 3 games, you're like, you know what? probably can get a bit of momentum out of this at least.
Yeah, we want to start the season with 12 points, don't we?
Overall, even if you know what, even if it's 10, like
something along those lines,
even if we might get Anfield away and we might lose, I can accept that.
Yeah.
One I'm not accepting no more is a loss to Tottenham. I do not accept that.
Four times
I swear on my life.
Yeah. Quick one from Jamie Wayne. I've not heard anything about.
I know everything about this guy. Trust me, everything. He's been set up. Got to go on loan. Yeah, he's not part of the plans for next season. It's not even just Pep decision. It's club decision. Departing ways.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
But he would never come to us.
No, we wouldn't want him.
No, I would. I'd take him in a heartbeat.
I don't. It's not for me, Grealish.
I mean,
cup of tea, is he,
Grealish? I like him. I think he's wasted. I think he's been wasted.
He's not everybody's cup of tea, but he wouldn't be for me. Jarvis, would you take Grealish quickly?
No, it's a no for me.
Okay.
I think he's a brilliant footballer at his best. If we can get the guy who played for Aston Villa. But not...
the Grealish that played for Villa. Yeah.
See, I don't know who Lamine Camara is. I haven't watched much of Monaco. I'm going to be honest. I usually watch Liga and at the start of the season, and then about halfway through I drop off.
I get bored of it.
It just drops off. I like Aston Villa needs to sell. I would like to test for Kamara out of their team, and if not, go look at maybe someone like Douglas Luiz. If we're talking about opportunities for the 8, I think Douglas Luiz is.
I like Douglas Luiz.
Perfect. Bring him back to the Prem. He's at a good age. Didn't have a good season at Juventus. Injured. They're going to want 35 million or 30 million. It's a great opportunity to go and take for me.
I agree. No, I'd love.
And also, he was a part of the academy of Manchester City, so homegrown. Anyone? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, just while you're getting that up, Jarvis, there was a no to Grealish to Birmingham.
I think he might end up I think Newcastle's a good shout for him, but I said, do you really want to put Grealish and Newcastle as the city as together? He needs to go somewhere quite boring.
Yeah, he'll be waking up on the Tyne Bridge, won't he? Yola Mamin's come in and says, "Kaz,
they're not together. They're not even together.
No, they broke up, haven't they?
Yeah. They're not even together. So we need to get his focus back over where he belongs. And it should be for us.
Yeah. Jarvis, if you can pull up the stats, that's our final question, pal.
Yeah, okay. Let's just gonna check out this guy. I don't know nothing about him. His stats looks okay, and 94%.
What is he exactly? He's a DM.
He's a midfielder, central midfielder, right-footed, 5'8". Yeah, so it's not in 21 years of age. So he's young.
Oh, he's
goals, 7 assists.
So he's a little beast. He's like,
okay. He's a Makaleli size player, isn't he?
Well, if you look at the comparison, similar players, you have Yuri Tielemans, McAllister, Neves, to name a few.
Quickly. It says complete scout report. You get a better kind of look. I want to see what his passing is kind of like. Is he progressive? That's all I care. Is he progressive?
Where's his passing? What?
You got to scroll down. That's his stats.
Yeah. Here we go. Goals, passing.
Ooh.
Okay.
Pass attempt, short passes. Let's see. Short passes, 67 percentile. Medium passes, 84, and long passes, 92 percentile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good. On paper, that sounds quite great.
Interesting.
And progressive passes, 70 percentile, 5.5 every game. So per 90.
So he moves the ball. He moves the ball quickly.
Mm.
I do find short, medium, and long passing quite funny though, Jarvis. What's that? 2 yards, 12 yards, 20 yards. Someone is. Someone the goal short.
Short. I will have to check him out.
Guys, that's it really for the Q&A. There's no more. There's been a massive 379 watching us for I don't know about an hour now. Over 115 on YouTube. Is that correct, Jarvis?
Yeah, that's right. 379 now watching.
So about 82, 83 likes. If you could get us to 100 likes, guys, that would be absolutely brilliant. Our We've upped our subscribers as well. I think we've had 2 or 3 new subscribers tonight, Jarvis.
Yeah, we're on the magic 777. So 7 for Cantona. Or maybe I should show this one.
The treble 7, yes.
Yes.
It's been a lively show. Jarvis, I'll hand it to you to 92 likes are on now. Get us to 100, please, guys. And Jarvis, I'll hand back to you, old friend.
Yes. I want to thank Cass for coming on. I want to thank Nuruddin for coming on.
Nur as well.
Yeah. And I want to thank the chat, Stephanie Griffith, Rashmano, the legendary moderators, Wizard. We have Hoku. I can't pronounce your name.
I know. I got him Hawk yesterday, didn't I? I got him Hawk last night. Hawk. Absolute legend. Mr. B's come in. I think he's talking about Lamine. We've just been on about it. I think he says he likes the first name, Lamine Yamal. I'm guessing he's putting that connotation.
Lamine.
Yeah, Lamine Yamal, the old Barcelona whiz. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Mr. B, but I do like that.
Yes, and I want to thank Story, Criplup, Jamie Wayne, Boxing Straight Talk, Story, all of you, Day 147, Yalam Alamin, all of the moderators. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment after the show.
Yes,
give us your take on next season. Who do you think we will sign? Do you think we'll get to Mbeumo or Delap, or are we going for Gyökeres? Is he a target still? It will be interesting. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a great show. Remember to go subscribe to Cass's channel, Never a Foul and Just Cass. Or is it
Cass Central? It's all that's all good. No, I changed the Cass Central. I changed the MUFC. I thought I needed a little bit more unique than just having United in the name.
Okay, so
it's like it's like Central. What's the Central? I'm Central of the whole channel, so Central Hub.
Yes.
To be fair, I wanted Cass Hub, but like to play on the word of what we all know that we shouldn't probably watch, but at times, it didn't allow me. So
yes. Just a quick message.
Wonder why?
Talking on the show, we shouldn't. Everybody's obviously seen this dude, the United Strand. The guy.
I've never heard of that.
Oh my god, he's growing his hair. I think he's on about day 226 or whatever. So he pops up on people's TikTok stream. He's got this massive fucking hair. But I almost wrote back to him and said, "Will you cut that fucking hair now? Because I'm sick of you popping up." Bless him. But he's got a nice little following going. So.
Yes.
And again, our thoughts to everybody, at Liverpool today. Our thoughts go out to the families. We've all got friends who are Liverpool fans. Football is tribal. We've got to have that rivalry, but people are people at the end of the day. We hurt and we bleed and we cry, laugh, just as much as the next person. So I hope you're okay, everybody, and big up to all the families. Love from Tactical Devils and the Devilish Tacticos.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, tuning in. Leave a comment in the non-live section. Smash like, subscribe if you're new. Go subscribe to Cass Central. Go subscribe to United Real Therapy. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we will be back somewhere later this week. So, guys, girls, have a good one and good night.
Good night.